phrase says, we cannot blame our failure to live our dreams on a lack of time. We must learn to make time in our days to live those dreams. We have time. We say we are so busy, so busy that I tell you, now you have time for our own kids, It's interesting one, interesting. Now, when it comes to the weather front, oh boy, I don't know where Yomi is, whether he's at home this morning or he's on the road. Oh boy, it's quite very tough one on the roads. But otherwise in London, well, this afternoon remained cloudy with some patchy light rain sinkings southwards, turning to hail, sleet and snow in spots. It's going to be a chilly day. This evening we'll see cloudy skies, but any rain, sleet and snow clearing, turning dry and clear overnight with cold, icy conditions developing with a chilly, northerly wind. Top temperature is going to 5 degrees. The low is going to be 0. All right then. Sunset 16:05 and 0 for tomorrow morning 07, 26 hours, and we go on. Yes, tomorrow another one. We're going down the drain until Saturday when things seem to recover a bit. So wherever you are, don't turn it down. It is time in the UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. What has happened on your travels this morning? On your travels, I can tell you actually. On the Piccadilly line, there is more suspension due to difficult track conditions caused by significant leaf fall. Road service between Rayners Lane and Uxbridge. This is anticipated to be between 09 hours to 14 hours. And then the Jubilee line is experiencing minor delay due to train cancellation. On the other side, all the other underground lines are running a good service. DLR and London Tramlink, good service there. This is Star Radio UK. On the major roads in London, there are no exceptional delays. The River West is running a good service apart from the Woolwich Ferry that's got a reduced service. The London Cable Car, good service there. On to the final segment of the travel update, that is the National Rail. I will mention the ones. Okay, let's go on. All these ones are offering special service, so listen to it. Let me hear your ears as we say. Cross Country, East Midlands Railways, Grand Central, Great Western Railway, all trains, London North Eastern Railway, Lumo, Northern Rail, ScotRail, South Western Railway, Southern, Thameslink, Transport and First Transport and Express, and Transport for Wales are all offering special service. And that's where I will say once again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your comment for today, but you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the roads. Okay. Just a quick break, and then I will bring.
About joining studio listen, I'm still setting up. So in just about a few minutes, I still have one more platform to connect. So I'm gonna join Star Radio in just about a few minutes. Bear with me. I'm literally running out of time, but we're getting there. I'm not going to say it's quite a lot of work, especially if you're on your own. Doing what we do every day, and we have to do what we do every day so that we can save humanity. So, and that's exactly what we're doing to keep us going, all the time. So, again, good morning and welcome to, the platform once again. This is Koiki Media. I'm gonna join Star Radio Listen. So, for a few minutes, share programming and invite others to do so as well, please. After Star Radio, we have a bit of time. Thank you so much. I saw you Star Radio. So, Mr. Adams, Alamilekan, Shina Oduwusi, ojú méjì mo fi ń ṣiṣẹ́ o, so ẹ jẹ́ kí n connect pẹ̀lú studio so that kí n má lọ gbàgbé láti connect tí bá ti send ilé ìtàn nísìn a máa lọ sọ́dọ̀ archive straight away. Mo padà lọ sùn ní lẹ́yìn bàtà parí program tààrọ̀ yìí, body no be wood lọ́sọ. So we're gonna go straight to the Star Radio. So mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí. Ṣé mic mi tẹ̀ ń jáde ṣá? I'm not sure I can hear. Okay, Njadi. All right, so I'm also actually the same. I'm on the team.
So Yomi is going to be telling us more about all that.
I have a
Why
lot
don't
to
you go
discuss.
away? Another story that is making the rounds. It says we all have not had access to our hometown. Cubana chief priest supports Okoroche's plea. And what plea is that? Record that
So
has been
switch.
since June
Switch so that's already.
and he was rearrested in Kenya and subjected to an extraordinary rendition during the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. But they are all arguing that he should be released so that they can all return to their homes. Well, their hometowns. But Kubana is saying not being able to do so.
Alright, so I'm going to mute my mic now. I will do that later after the program. Abdullahi Mukembe
should be released so that they can all return to their homes, well, their hometowns. But Kubana is saying they've not been able to do so, and he is also supporting the plea of Okorocha. We'll be telling you more about that as Yomi continues, because come the 2nd of December, we have the declaration by the Prime Minister in exile of the Biafra, Simon Ekpa, who say they are going to give the declaration. We'll be monitoring that very, very closely. So wherever you are, don't even think of touching the dial. Another story is making the rounds this morning whilst we wait for Mr. Laimi Koiki to join in. There will forever be 51 people who defiled me. Gizel Pellicott tells mass rape trial. I don't know who kind of a husband will want people to rape the wife, unless of course you don't want the person. But well, Ukraine vows to never submit as war reaches 1,000th day. 1,000th day today. And in Hong Kong has jailed 45 pro-democracy campaigners for subversion. Well, whilst other world leaders or the Western world are saying that was a wrong move, Beijing is saying that was a good move. We want to know more. Stay tuned. Almost 100 Gaza food aid lorries violently looted. UN agency is saying, well, they are desperate. Those are desperate measures. And of course, desperate measures come with what? The desperate situation come with desperate measures that people will take. Now, Germany suspects sabotage behind severed undersea cables. And the car driven into crowd outside China's primary school. Some of the stories making the rounds. And the Georgian police clear protesters challenging stolen election. You want to know more? You got to stay tuned. Don't touch the dial as we continue to bring you the morning show whilst we wait for Solai Mikalki to get to a good place to bring you that. And then Russia vows tangible response if U.S. missiles used against its territory. However, Russia has gone to solicit the help of North Korea. So we have North Korea boots on the ground. Then we have they soliciting or getting help from Iran and other places. But when the Western world that is supporting Ukraine now says we're going to be using our missiles or getting our boots or something like that, say, you do that, we're going to back. But where lies the balance in power? Who calls the shot? Are we still living in the days that back in the day where you have Rome just moving in, taking over particular areas and say that, yeah, we've taken over that place and that's our territory. You conquer, you come, you see, you conquer, then yes, you have that territory. And then at the point we say, yes, the whole world is being controlled by Rome or Great Britannia or the Greeks or the Egyptians or the Persians or the Medians and all that stuff. So the question is, who or where lies that power that makes us behave that way back in the past? And are we still living in the same place once again? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Star Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And I can tell you assuredly that I've got my colleague and co-presenter, Mr. Laimi Koiki, who has joined in, and I'm going to be crossing over straight to our North London studio where he is to bring you those updates from Nigeria. And let me say good morning to you, Yomi.
Well, a very good morning to you again, Mr. Archie, and a very good morning to all our listeners and viewers from around the world, and welcome back again to the Tuesday edition, the 19th day of the month of November 2024 on the Star Radio UK network, 6 minutes past 11. I'll come back again to you in the studio. I was actually listening to you at the background, and yes, this morning I didn't do the school run, but I think somebody gave me an hint from Scotland that it was going to be a heavy snow in Scotland, and I didn't realize that London was going to be part of it as well until this morning when my wife told me that the weather is quite a little bit tricky outside.
Yeah. But we are glad that we are all doing well. Family is doing well here. And so far, so good. Okay. Let's crack on. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Olaimi Koiki, bringing you updates from Nigeria in our North London studios. Okay. Now, let's look at, because behind you got Olusegun Obasanjo, the former president. Now, it looks like the APC are chastising him. This morning I was monitoring some of the stories where the APC are calling him, are saying that it's no one that who can advise on good governorship, to say that, yes, good government, where you say that, you have to mimic what maybe I did in the past and sort of, but they are saying corruption, he is alleging that there's corruption allegation, that it is on the ascendancy, and he's having a reprisal attack from the presidency. Yomi, tell us more about that.
Well, as we know, yesterday we were having a conversation about Obasanjo saying that, he would not allow Nigeria to break. He would do everything within his blood, and he's actually doing that because Obasanjo, as we know, the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, this was in 1999, when we had the first, presidency coming through, and as many, he came out of the jail, and the expectation, then was that he would make so much changes. But it seems that, Obasanjo is saying Nigeria is I want to go with what Obasanjo says before we go with what the presidency is saying, so that we can get a bit of clarity on that. Yeah. And it goes like this: Nigeria is a failed state due to go slow. Emilio Kan. The word Emilio Kan pulled out from Abeokuta when the campaign trail was going on under the the APC of the Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and he was actually saying that look, I endorse, support Buhari. Buhari was even Olule mean that somebody that was falling apart, until I told him how politics is played, and for 3 times Buhari could not become the president until I gave him the backing of the Southwest, because the importance of the Southwest must also be noted in this. So the word Emilio Kan, it is my turn, is what Obasanjo is now saying, that this Emilio Kan is too slow. It's like a Baba go slow. The word Baba go slow is something that moves like a crawl of snail. The former president Obasanjo says Nigeria has become a failed state due to the policies of the former president Muhammadu Buhari, including President Bola Tinubu. Mr. Obasanjo says that Tinubu and Buhari led Nigeria into a state of chaos, insecurity, and on development. He stated this during a paper presentation at the Chinua Achebe Leadership Forum at the Yale University in the United States. It looks like when they leave Nigeria, they have this firepower to push and tell the world that Nigeria is a failed state, that many Yorubas, the Biafra, are saying that Nigeria is a failed state, but it looks like Obasanjo is cracking on that. The former president delivered his keynote address titled Leadership Failure, State Capture in Nigeria, in a pre-recorded speech that was played at the event. This morning, that attack has come back as usual from the presidency. Corruption allegation, presidency attack Obasanjo as opposition back the ex-president. Atiku is backing Obasanjo, but it looks like there's firepower from both sides. But it looks like there is a restructure of the media from the APC, and it looks like they came out saying that the presidency yesterday attacked former President Olusegun Obasanjo over his claim that the corruption has reached a fatal stage in the country. The presidency also faulted Obasanjo, call for the sacking of the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu of the Independent National Electoral Commission over his conduct of the 2023 election, which described as travesty. However, the People's Democratic Party, the Labour Party, and the New Nigerian Party are backing the elder statement on the issue of the graft, the imperative of the Electoral Forum, and other issues that was raised at the keynote address in America for Chino Achebe Leadership Forum at the Yale University. Star Radio UK, I come back again to you, Mr. Archie, so that we can continue the discussion this morning.
It's quite an interesting one there, the banter that seems to be going on. Now, so I'm looking at it.
Well, Just Reason just says here, I'm picking up a comment that might be of interest. It says, oh no, not that of Obasanjo again, the grand patron of corruption in Nigeria.
Now, let's putting it on the table. Let's look at it this way. I don't know whether when Obasanjo was president, that time you were in Nigeria.
That was 1999 up to 2000 and I think 8.
Yeah. You were not in Nigeria then. You weren't.
That's the I left Nigeria in '98, and I never witnessed election until we traveled myself. Remember that we traveled for the 2019 election to cover that election. Yeah. But again, I already left Nigeria before the first democracy came back again. Well, not the first one, but after the military.
Going to civilian rule. But I would say comparatively, looking at Obasanjo's time and looking at what is currently going on in Nigeria, how do you see it?
Well, I was following quite a lot of people on the social media this morning, and it looks like a lot of people believe that during Obasanjo's tenure, the debt of Nigeria was wiped off until the next government came in, and the debt has gone up. And it seems that many people might agree, but it seems that others disagree as well, that Obasanjo's tenure was much better than the current one that we have right now. But again, a lot of people are also debunking some of the things that has been out there, that Obasanjo built a power plant. He spent 8 billion, not 16 billion. He built 2 in Oron Shogo State. He built 2 in Omotosho. But again, I have a scorecard that is coming from another media in Nigeria. We leave the name aside. I am not saying Obasanjo is a saint. He made a lot of mistakes too. But before they abuse him, tell them to beat his economic growth or economic record. And I have it here. Obasanjo came in 1999 up to 2006. There was a growth of about 5%. It was 0.58% in 1999. It went up to 6% in 2006. When Musa Yar'Adua came before he died, the growth was still under about 6.59. The growth went up to 8%. Goodluck Jonathan came in 2010. The growth, I'm trying to look at the growth here, but it seems that it's a little bit tight for me to read it through, but it looks like the growth was high as well. But the growth started declining from Buhari, that went back to 2.65. By the time Buhari left Nigeria, he has already collapsed the whole country to 3.65%.
Now, whilst we were talking, I was trying to find the population of Nigeria as at the time that...
and Falad Namuyiwa says, if Buhari graph can be like this, how will this Bulaba look like? The backwards go long gone. That means that we don't even know the graphs of Tinubu yet, but it looks like these are the comment coming through on the social media. So there's a lot of response. I'll come back again to you in the studio, Mr. Archie.
Well, listen, it's quite an interesting one. As at the time that Obasanjo was president in 1999, Nigeria had a population of about 119.7 million. But at the moment, we know Nigeria has a population of what? About 250?
208 million.
208 million. So you compare...
Yeah, and that was something that somebody said, sorry to cut you in there. No, go on. What was the population by then is what Mayowa David asks as well on the X. Those years, check around the world and tell me a country that wasn't doing well. The world economy was in boom, unlike now, the Gen Z go take you serious, sha.
Gen Z, let's see what they will take us. Let me say good morning to Olurami Kilanko. Good morning to you. Onolakunle, good morning. So well done, everyone on Star Radio UK. He says, yes, good morning, Mommy. I trust you're all doing very well. Okay. Good salutations there. Now, so let's come back to Obasanjo's statement, because yesterday when he said that he will not sit down either for the nation to be disintegrated, okay? So he will do everything in his power. But this is a situation as somebody who is saying, I'm going to do everything. Now, the government that is in power at the moment, that they are supposed to maybe support the speech that you are making against you. So is it that the current government, Tinubu's government, are looking at maybe seeing to maybe give some referendum to the southwest and then the southeast and stuff like that? Do you think that is what is going on? Or when it comes to unity, as for that, they're on the same page, and then when it comes to other chastising or criticizing of big corruption and mismanagement, they are on a different page?
Well, I'm not sure whether this particular government, really wants to look into, those that are asking or campaigning, for the breakaway of Nigeria. But what we are looking at is, Obasanjo, saying that the leadership, of this particular government, and it's still a continuity because Buhari left. Tinubu says, I will continue from where Buhari left. We spoke about, many Nigerians yesterday that are complaining about hunger in the land, and also, the instability of so many other areas, like, the insecurity that we have currently in Nigeria. But one thing, is that as many Nigerians that want to exit Nigeria, but there are still some that believe in Nigeria, and they think that, it is the leadership problem that needs to be restructured back. And, just as you were looking at that, I went back to, Wole Soyinka. Wole Soyinka in 2021, and I'm looking at, what he actually says. Let me look at it from my other screen here, because we have, two screens that we are running on the parallel here. What Wole Soyinka was saying in 2021 was exactly this, and it goes like this with an headline that I have here, because I was actually discussing this morning. It is madness sign to think that Nigeria will work without restructuring. This was Wole Soyinka on the 7th of March 2021, and on a brief note of that, he says the Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka on Saturday re-echoed the call for restructuring the country as a means of tackling some of the major problems confronting it. Soyinka stated that there was a consensus among Nigerians that the country must be restructured urgently, saying anybody still asking what restructuring means, despite the numerous explanations already provided, should be ignored, because such person has not chosen to be ignorant, deliberately. Let's move forward again to 2017 from Professor Ango Abdullahi. Another headline, the North are prepared for Nigerian breakup. This is coming from Professor Ango Abdullahi, a former Vice Chancellor of the Ahmadu Bello University, and most also important, the Secretary of the Northern Elders Forum. Professor Ango Abdullahi has asserted that the North is not afraid of the breaking up of Nigeria. According to him, the region was prepared to go back to the pre-1914 arrangement. The elder statement bear his mind at a two-day conference that was organized by the Arewa Research Development Project. He also went further. The North and the future of the Nigerian Federation. Professor Abdullahi was of the view that if we can't go back to the 1914 amalgamation, we should at least go back to the 1960 regional governance. North is not afraid of the getting his North back, but just like those that want the East and the West, I see this as a political maneuver, and the North will not take it at all. So you can see that there's a pressure going on in the country right now, and it seems that many people are now asking the question, when we will all sit together on the round table before things goes the other way around? Because I heard you talking about the Biafra, which is a countdown. We don't know what they're going to do, but it seems that they're forging forward to a declaration out of Nigeria.
It's quite worrying, but ladies and gentlemen, Star Radio UK, Oluremi, thank you very much. Good morning to you, all there, Star Radio UK team, and to Olakunle as well. Good. All right. Now, interestingly, we have one of the stories that I'm just digressing a bit. We'll come back to the ones that you have got there. Now, we all have not had access to our hometown. That is being said by Cubana chief priest who is supporting Okorocha's plea. And Okorocha's plea for Nnamdi Kanu has been that he should be released, because some people are saying that for 5 years they've not been able to even go visit their hometown. But looking at what you were talking about, when we were talking about the regional government, and looking at the Southwest will be able to stand on its own. The Southeast will be able to stand on its own. I don't know the middle belt, what they have there. But when it comes to the North, I think they will think that they will fall short and therefore will not give in at all. You know me? So if you look at all these things and the call by this individual saying that they need to release Nnamdi Kanu, at least, if we don't want to have, what they call it, to break the nation, at least let's foster some peace within the communities and let's see how it all comes out. But what has been the reaction so far?
Well, you're quite right. The question is, how long more can this APC government hold Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous groups that was kidnapped, rendition, and brought back to Nigeria by a learned professor of law? I'm talking about Yemi Osinbajo because he was the vice president. How he was able to advise Buhari to kidnap Nnamdi Kanu, and we can still call him a lawyer or senior advocate of Nigeria, is still a question in the minds of millions of people this morning. And I'm going back to Aloy Ejimako, one of the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu says, respect the 2022, this 2 years ago, United Nations order to release Nnamdi Kanu. The council is now telling Tinubu. Tinubu is currently at the G20 with all the leaders, for the G20 summit in Brazil. But as we know, I saw, Antonio Guterres, the UN General Secretary. I hope that somebody like the leader, the Director General, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, will be telling Tinubu about Kanu rather than any other thing else, because she's from the Southeast. But Aloy Ejimako, the special counsel to the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has now urged President Bola Tinubu to implement the order of the United Nations Human Rights Council Working Group to release the IPOB leader. Ejimako said the president should not follow the footsteps of his predecessor, Muhammadu Buhari, who just ignored the UN order but went further to ask for the Palestinian two-state, and the same thing Shetima is doing. And to answer your question, if we want the peace to kickstart, I believe Nnamdi Kanu should be released. But Simon Ekpa is saying something that Nnamdi Kanu to be released in Nigeria will still be nothing changing his plan and his government of de facto and the home government. Nnamdi Kanu would have to be in Finland for him to stop exactly what he's doing right now. So even if Nnamdi Kanu is released back to Nigeria, it seems that there might be a bit of unity, but that will not end the agitation and the declaration that the Biafra are talking about.
Okay. The countdown is on. We are waiting for the second, and as Yomi said, we'll try our best to see whether we can get Simon Ekpa to have a word from him, an interview there. But I'm saying good morning here, but in Nigeria, I know it's afternoon. Gani Oloyede, good morning to you. I hope you are, good afternoon to you. I hope you are doing very, very well. Thank you very much for joining us. It is Star Radio, okay? It is the Tuesday edition of the morning show with me, Mr. Olaimi Kweki in our North London studios. I'm actually here in the South studios, and let's move on. Now, NNPCL has admitted challenges delaying Port Harcourt refinery takeoff. Now, I remember when Buhari was, my apology, Tinubu was coming in, he gave us a date sometime last year that the refinery was going to be ready, blah, blah, blah. It has gone on, and now we're not sure of the date. Now, if you look at what Dangote has been saying, that it looks like the NNPCL and some cabals are there doing everything to stop the refinery from booming. Then I don't doubt the fact that, listen, they are doing everything, throwing the spanner in the web of the refinery, Port Harcourt refinery, and the other refineries the government have talked about. Because if Nigeria is able to refine its own crude, refine the crude oil, the crude oil from that place, and said they don't need the dollars. And that will help the economy. But we don't see that. Yomi, tell us more.
Well, again, part of politics and government is to continue to tell lies and deceive the citizens with the hope that something is coming. We knew that whatever Tinubu was saying, that the Port Harcourt refinery will be coming back online, is just chasing the shadow. It's like an illusion. But you talk about the Dangote refinery is on a full operation, but it's struggling to get the crude into that particular venture so that it can be able to produce But it seems that the cabal, those that owns, refinery across the world, does not want Dangote refinery to work, but they are pushing the dead refinery that stopped working some over 40 years ago. Just like we told you some last week that, even the electricity, they're still using, these old 1960 power plants that should no longer be used. A lot of money has been pumped into the Port Harcourt refinery, but barely 2 months after September completion deadline flopped, the Nigerian National Petroleum Commission has now explained to us why it could not deliver much awaited Port Harcourt refinery company. This was an interview that was granted on Monday by the NNPC Chief Corporate Communication Officer Olufemi Shoneye. Says the company encountered risk challenges while carrying out the rehabilitation, being a brownfield project. He noted that the NNPC began the commission of critical equipment processing unit after the mechanical completion in Nigeria. You may recall that the mechanical completion of the Port Harcourt refinery revamp was successfully achieved several months ago, making a significant milestone. But what we can still tell Nigerians is that the Port Harcourt refinery is an illusion that will produce anything out of it.
Well, it's an illusion, but government has invested the scarce resources into that. Why has government done that? And why is it not cracking the whip to make sure that we get results out of it?
Because somebody's making money out of it. For every project in Nigeria is just to keep others to have the dollars, to have the access to the fund, and nothing seems to happen. I mean, when we go back and, my mom, worked as a secretary with the Mobile Oil in the 70s. And, when we compare, what production was coming out then and, the amount of opportunity that Nigerians had, it seems that we left the agricultural sector, went into the crude, and we can see that we've not been able to manage it successfully. And that is why many Nigerians this morning are spending close to almost 1,200 per liter. But it seems that might be going up as the Christmas is getting closer.
Well, let's see what is going to happen there. Shemiyu Adeyemi, good morning to you there. And Ango Abdullahi, good morning to you there. Thank you very much. And those of you who have joined us on the Yoruba World Media, and those of you on the Kwaiki Media, I salute each and every one of you. Thank you very much for doing so. It is Star Radio UK. It is a Tuesday edition of the morning show. Now, let's talk about the restructuring of the media team. Now, when Buhari was there, he had Lai Muhammad. And we know Gabashehu. And then we have the chief himself. And they keep on spinning and spinning and spinning. Now, the president, I don't know whether I think that Ononuga is not articulating enough whatever his policies and stuff is or are. Therefore, I think that he needs to bring another person in. Yomi, tell us more from there.
But this person that is bringing in, condemn the APC, people might say, well, maybe he wants to do something different. That is where it's becoming much interesting, as Daniel Bawala, was one of the PDP spokesman. He supported Atiku up to this election, but he has changed his mouth. And I believe I have, few things that people have put together. Tinubu, and this is coming from, and I want to make sure we have, exactly what it is. So people are saying it's a stomach infrastructure when this individual comes. Tinubu is worse than OBJ and is still the governor of Lagos State. These are few people that have now become part of the APC, but they can say that they're going into the government so that they can make things change. Well, let's look at this structure that is coming first, because it looks like, this structure, might bring, the communication. I've read what, Bawala, was talking about. But Tinubu restructured the media team, has approved Bawala Dare as the co-spokesperson with Ononuga. Sunday Dare, Daniel Bawala, has been approved as the co-spokesperson with the Bayo Ononuga. But I think Tinubu needs that attacking force. It needs those that are conversant, those that can speak and those that are capable, whether to convince Nigeria is something that we will have to wait. Dare, who was the special advisor on the public communication and the national orientation, has now been designated as the special advisor on the media and public communication. It further stated that Bawala, who was announced last week as the special advisor on the media public communication, is now the special advisor of the policy communication. And like I said, I was listening to him, and he said quite a lot. But what he said, prior before he became, these new, spokesperson, is what people are talking about. I am 100% loyal to President. When I was with Atiku, I was 100% with him. When you are committed to someone, you will give that 100%. I'm not the one saying this, and I believe we can listen to that as exactly what he says, at exactly 11:31. I know when it comes to the news in Nigeria, we want to make sure we give it to you at exactly what it is. This was an interview that was granted to one of those media personnel of Tinubu yesterday.
Whether I have the requisite experience, understanding, and knowledge of the job. I have speaking publicly for a president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
I have never spoken for the president of the Federal Republic at any time. This is the first time. But if you're talking of whether I have experience in communication and public communication and media, that is all I've been doing for many years.
Have you been trained for it?
I studied law. A lawyer is both a journalist and a practitioner of law. When you appear in court, what are you doing?
And the Bawala is the one to the right, Bayo Ononuga is in the middle, and Dare to the left. Let's listen a little bit more, then I come back again to you in the studio.
Advocating for a case.
It's a totally different thing when you spin and you handle media and manage media and communication. That's probably one of the highest role in media and communication in any country. Speaking and managing public relations and spinning for a president.
Which is what I have the capacity for. Yeah.
You have the capacity.
Yes. Incidentally, when I went to address the press corps, most of the people in that place, we know each other at different capacities where you appear in television program or journalists calling you out for meetings, communication and all that. So it is, you see, it's a privilege.
Well, it's a privilege, but this was what he said prior before the election, and let's listen to that, in just about a few minutes.
It's because during this period, there have been reports that, for example, even the president advised that this ticket be balanced, and there are key members of the party who have maintained the same position. And thankfully, majority of our Muslim brothers so sensing that and maintain the same position. So we believe that during this consultation period, that probably Asiwaju is coming to terms with the reality of balancing the ticket. So the decision yesterday came to me as a surprise. And the reason I resigned is simply because if I stayed in the party, I'm going to play a role of a spokesperson. These are facts that are important to me, and they run to the core of my conviction. Since I don't believe in that, if I take up any role for the party, that means I will find myself advocating what I don't believe.
Well, I think a lot of people will be very respectful of what you've done because you've done it on principle.
Well, he's done it on principle, but he's back again as the spokesperson for the same person that he actually resigned a year ago.
Well, it's quite an interesting one there, of course. Ajayi Gabriel, yes, good morning to you, good afternoon, depending on where you are listening to us from. But you know me, quite an interesting one. It looks like Tinubu has got in his camp lots of opposition people, people who criticize his government. Or listen, we have Wike, who is the governor of the federal capital, and then we have Bawala, who was supposed to be with PDP, and a few people who have been crossing. Is it for stomach economy or their personal parochial interest, or what exactly is it for? What do you think?
Well, because we love to also carry along our audience, and Akirele Ebenezer said the government is only weakening the opposition for 2027 election. You can't serve in a government without becoming part of them. The position serving in this present government has been bought by the government period. I wanted to almost say the same thing because Asiwaju Bola Tinubu that people knows, and I'm talking about people that were with him in exile during the assassination attempt of his life by the late Sani Abacha. I'm talking about, a one man that I met, that were part of those that were on the wanted list. Tinubu will pay any amount to get you to his side. And that is why, some are finding it very difficult to say that he couldn't get Igboho, he couldn't get Akintoye. The question is, he probably got through with some people, like that particular woman that came in as an honest person that we thought, but she eventually derailed the movement. And what people have also said that Tinubu has been in different, organization that has become crumble because of his interference.
Well, do you think that he's going to be able to interfere and make sure whatever he's doing now will actually short-circuit the power of the opposition come the next election? If you want to know more or you want to tell us more, feel free to do so. Star Radio UK. Now let's go back to Yomi for the rest of the stories making the rounds and what is happening on the social media platform. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Quite a lot, as again, President Tinubu has now asked for, extra borrowing, external borrowing. It looks like the word borrowing. Many Nigerians will keep asking, why do we keep borrowing and what are we borrowing for? Well, around the world, government borrow money for different projects, especially when your economy is down. So it looks like this morning, the news headline says President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has written to the NAS, to seek what we call approval for 1.77 trillion naira fresh external borrowing. If approved, the loan will be used to part finance the budget deficit of 9.7 trillion for the 2024 budget. President Tinubu, as we say, wrote to the National Assembly seeking this fresh loan. If approved, it can be used and it will be used to part finance the budget deficit. The president's request was read by the speaker during the preliminary on Tuesday. The president has also forwarded the MTEFSP 2025-2027 Parliamentary and National Social Investment Program Establishment Amendment Bill to make social register the primary tool for implementation. Many Nigerians will continue to ask, all this borrowing that has been borrowed in the past, how do we resolve it? Discos are ready to replace faulty meters, according to the report coming this morning again from the electricity. The order that no customer with a meter should be forcefully migrated to estimated billing. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has announced that it is the responsibility of the electricity distribution company to replace faulty customer meters free of charge. Well, that word free of charge, I can tell you that you better have money because nobody's going to do it for you free of charge. Nigeria to sign FID on 2 deep water projects by the mid-2025. This is coming again from the presidency. Nigeria will sign the final investment decisions on 2 deep water exploration projects by the mid-2025. This was reviewed by the Special Advisor on Energy to President Bola Tinubu, Oluwole, in an address at the African Energy Week that is taking place at Cape Town in South Africa. While speaking at the conference theme, The Future of the Energy, Shaping the Workforce of Tomorrow, Olu said Nigeria so far has been able to unlock over $11 billion investment across the value chain, and by mid-2025, the FID on 2 more projects will be signed, including a multi-billion-dollar deep water exploration project. That can be a concern, especially those that have always think that the waterways is one area that will be taken away from them, especially Buhari wanted to make sure that everybody has to sign the waterway bill. Cholera kills 25 in Sokoto State. 15 persons have been hospitalized. Now we have a total of about 1,160 people who are said to have been affected by the outbreak. We hope that the government will do everything quickly to make sure that health can be quickly put back to normality, because those kind of virus can spread very fast. And, if care is not taken, it could affect more community across. Well, we're going to take, one more. It looks like as much as we might not agree or disagree with the election in Ondo State that has not gone as well, but already Ondo Aye Datiwa has now returned Wednesday amid protest, according to the report. The Independent Electoral Commission will officially present certificate of return to the Ondo State Governor-elect Lucky Aiyedatiwa and his deputy today. The certificate will be issued at the Commission's headquarters in tomorrow, according to the Chief Press Secretary of the INEC, Chairman Rotimi Oyekami actually disclosed this yesterday with the correspondent. He said that his return will be presented by the INEC to the governor-elect and his deputy on Wednesday at the Commission's headquarters in Abuja. I'm going to take you straight to the social media to see what is trending, and we'll go back again to many discussion on the new media that Tinubu has now put together, and we're talking about, most importantly, Daniel Bawala. A lot of individuals have responded to these man that thinks that what he says might not matter since he can make his changes in this government. And this is what he said when he was, presented. I want to express my profound gratitude to President Bola Tinubu for demonstration of confidence and trust by this appointment. I am indeed honored to be called to serve our dear nation under the esteemed leadership of the courageous CNC father. But let's look at what Nigerians are saying to this young man. Less than a year ago, political jobbers here and there, even if you give Tinubu 30 years, nothing will work. This is coming from Daniel Bawala, and this was in December 26, 2023. Just less than, he's not even up to a year yet. Also, this is coming from El Shola Derel. He says, well, you better also very well. It doesn't take much to be, not a very good word, we won't be able to use that. This one's going to say, Damilare Odulesi says, hustle, don't pay. That means that Daniel Bawala also has paid up. Congratulations, Bawala, on your appointment as a special advisor to the president. You defeated all the APC thugs. The accusation of the ballot box theft, election violence, rigging, and various fraud claims associated with the APC and 2022 general election. You have now risen. You have rising. Let me get that out quickly. You have risen to a prominent position in the administration you did not work for. I consider you one of the luckiest individuals in this government. Despite your dedication and support for Atiku, it seems that those who fought for the APC and did the dirty work were not deemed worthy of such appointment. In fact, it appears that APC lost one vote as you voted Atiku. What an irony of life. Congratulations again, Daniel Bawala.
Interesting. Well, politics in Africa is always interesting, and it's one of those. It's all coming your way from Star Radio UK. Whilst you were on, I was looking at an article pertaining to Kemi Badenoch's statement that she made pertaining to reparation for countries that we say slavery and everything that had gone on there. And we had Fani Kayode. Femi, chastising Kemi Badenoch. But again, I'm asking the question: has Kemi has she said anything pertaining to the unrest in Nigeria? Let me put it that way, for lack of words, because we're looking at the southwest, we're looking at the south.
I believe towards the NSAS, from what I saw online, she did actually made a position known as at the time when the federal government of Buhari and Sanwo-Olu, the governor of Lagos State, attacked those young Nigerians that were asking for the NSAS to end, and also as many other areas. But all I can say is that she hasn't said much after that, but I believe she actually said few things during that period. But one thing is, we will have to wait and see how she's going to forge ahead, with these, discussion, especially as many Nigerians, wants to know a position. And I'm talking about the diasporas that are looking up to her as a leader in one of the strong political parties in the UK, to make a stand know very well with the injustice that is going on in Nigeria and the atrocities of the Christian persecution, and as many Nigerians that are living in the IDP camp.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is Star Radio UK. If we want to go on, we'll go on till thy kingdom come. But now we have to let Yomi go. Yomi, before you go.
Well, it is the role of the government to look after the people, and the job of Tinubu and Shetima, as the promise was to keep Nigerians, out of the security threat, economy, and it's already a year plus already, and it seems that many Nigerians are still crying aloud. We hope that maybe things will change, but those that believe in the right to self-determination, things are in the interest of everyone. The roundtable discussion should come on now before it is too late. I'll leave that for now, and we'll hopefully be back again tomorrow on another edition of the Star Radio UK Morning Show. I'll say good morning to all others that have joined us on the sister network. Remember to subscribe and follow, and keep that notification bell on the Star Radio UK, so that when we're live, you can be able to get the notification that we're on.
Thank you, Yomi, and you have a lovely
audio there. Say good morning and welcome to the discussion here again. I'll leave Archie and we'll come out from there. I'm going to turn the camera on here because I'm going to move things around. And those of you on Instagram and Twitter, I'm going to also turn the camera on off for a while. And this is our second going to the third program today. We had one at about almost 4 o'clock this morning. And that's my face there, my beautiful face. I think I love to have a tea, and I guess I need to make one. The line is open in case you have one or two things. A lot of feedback from the Obasanjo discussion. Let me get the camera here for now first until I get things sorted out. Many of us, have reached out. Those of you that have said so much of feedback, we're grateful to have you all. I have a bit of ample of time, not like yesterday that I had to rush, but this time around I still have a bit of time. So the only thing is, I had cereal this morning. That's my cereal. I had a cereal this morning. So I need to have tea. It's quite cold outside. Mokia Usman will have Waris Jinadu. But if you want to call in, Boya or you have other areas that you want us to look into, I know you all love to watch this program, but also we encourage you to support financially. That is the only way you can help this platform. It's good when we have thousands of people that are watching my videos. Moki, Babami, Mo, Oludare JP, Moki, Mommy, me, Rachel, Padiget, Adewale, Aduwasi, Moki, Mr. Yawa, Wumi, Egbedele, Lukman, Olaide rather, Albert, Sani Sharif, Ganio Adeyemi, Onadiola, Fortune Michael, Moki, Tayo, Moki, Olaoluwa, Emmanuel, Moki, Bawa Media as well. So, Eshegon Babawa Kirele, Ebenezer, Ganio Suraju, if you don't share it, because I have been shadow banned, even I have 500,000 followers on Facebook, it doesn't go anywhere. Because what they've done is they've made sure that my message does not reach many people. So, your job is to make sure that they can hear Koiki Media everywhere. We're on the Mixlr, we're doing the Twitter space. Shout out to all the Biafrans and those that have joined us, and those on the Instagram as well. But there, by share programming, I can sit here talking for 3-5 hours. It's not going to go anywhere. Video and they're making use of it. It's good for them. It helps their channel. Some of them are making extra income out of it. I don't have any problem with that. But I just want many people to share. Continuous sharing. If you don't, even in your church services, Pastor Jerry always tell you to share. And the other churches as well also encourage you to share. By sharing, we are sharing the gospel of truth. And that is the only way we can deliver ourselves from the bondage of the British fraudulent amalgamation. There, by share, there's a people calling. I don't want people to know that I'm also supporting Yoruba nation. You are also not helping the movement. The first thing to do is to share. Also, we need you to continue. Muki Iyawa Esther Olawale Ekaro. Muki Ugbe sisters me. Beautiful sisters that we love you so much, but some of you Okoyin wa ní Nigeria, èyí tẹ́ wà ní Cairo, mo kí yín gan. I've been receiving calls from Côte d'Ivoire. I'm so pleased that our people in Côte d'Ivoire are speaking to us. Côte d'Ivoire. Unfortunately, I don't speak French apart from Komatapetu Jomape Yobi. Moki Bubu Enyenyawa, Moki Bishop Additional Dada. Let's continue to support our own. Cherry, the motion that Tiba Loda si Ruba. She Mumo Dada. But yet, and I can tell you a little bit about Tamu. And move camera me because I have people that are watching me on Instagram and I want to move them a little bit. And as you know, I'm operating from my house, and also I must continue to protect the identity as much as possible of my loved ones. I don't have a problem with myself being known around the world, but we have to protect our own family from what we are doing. And I'm sure you all agree to that. So I'm moving things around. If you're one of those that wants to know inside my house, you're wasting your bloody hell time. You know, that is not your problem. Your problem is to know what I'm doing here and help me to share the program. That's all you need to know. Anything more than that, you don't need to know. So, shout out to, many of those that are believers of the breakup of Nigeria. We still have millions of people. We saw them and want a lot deeper. Do we blame them? Or do we blame ourselves for not getting our message to them? Who do we blame? Talama blame. I'm asking the question. Okay, Grace, let me call her back and let me get my sound out of here because the phone was on silent, so I didn't know when she called. Chefe Bawa da se to ni mommy. Chefe da sorry program ni ma.
Okay, over lórí program.
Well, lórí program. Tẹ́ bá fi dá sí ká sọ tiwa later go but tẹ́ bá sọ ma lọ lórí live.
Okay, I sọ̀rọ̀ later.
All right. I'll leave it like that. So you have to go further. So tẹ́ bá bá wa pín programs wa, and I want to move this as well. That's why I'm covering it so that and I guess it's good like this now. So my job here is to continue to promote Yoruba Nation through my channel. Even though I am losing thousands of pounds, for this, but it doesn't matter. Eventually we get there. I want to tell you about Tamu. Until we support our own to grow, until you support the Yoruba world media, support all the other medias as well. I always say it's not just about me. The more we support, the more we can break this gene, this deadly country called Nigeria. But if you refuse to support, and we're expecting a miracle to come and help us, no miracle is coming to save us. We pray all the time. Our prayer has been answered. There's no doubt about it in my mind. Ọlọ́run ti gbàdúrà wa. Ibi tó kù sí nísìnyí ni pé let's forge ahead and remain focused. A lot of distraction is out there as well. Don't be distracted. Nobody can stop this movement. Not even our kings. Kódà mo dárúkọ Ọọ̀ni of Ifẹ̀, wọ́n lè stop ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation. All they can be telling us is ẹ lọ ṣe sùúrù ẹ̀yin ọmọ yìí. Àìdẹ̀ sọ fún wọn pé à ṣe sùúrù. A ti ṣe sùúrù títí. It is time now that you, our fathers, listen to us. Mo kí bàbá mi Moses Olaniran. They get the message, but they are still adamant and blind. Yes, they are blind because we must continue to give them the alternative. What is the alternative? Yoruba nation. Yoruba nation is the alternative. There is nothing that can bring unity to us in Nigeria. That was my discussion this morning. Program here. I know some of you are really catching up with my videos. Koiki, back to back. Sometimes I could go away for a couple of days, but when I have the strength and the energy, I could fire on throughout the day. I could do one, I could come back again in the night. And the good thing now is you are also helping us. So that you're listening to my other team that are also doing their own little awareness, even if it's not as long as mine. But the thing is, I cannot do 3 hours program and turn it to 10-minute program. No. That's why we have told our team we should be more than 40 minutes long. So that way, our message can continue to travel as well. Mix LR. We've talked about the Mix LR. Many of you are not going there to listen to us from it. You need to go there and listen. Or cheaper. It is the most cheapest one that you can think of right now. Ọ̀nà àbáyọ kan tó kù ó ní pé kí Yorùbá kó dá dúró kó gba òmìnira tiẹ̀. Kò yàn mújà dání àbá anybody jà. Eléyìí ò ń sọ̀rọ̀ ogun. A kàn sọ pé ìtafẹ́ ni pé àfẹ́ wà nínú Nàìjíríà mọ́ because Nigeria has not been of favour to us. Ó kó wa sẹ́yìn ni, ó fà wá sẹ́yìn gan. Nàìjíríà tá à ń sọ ó ti fà wá sẹ́yìn ju bó ṣe yẹ lọ. And it is time that we say enough is enough. But there's Yoruba people that are very adamant. Wọ́n believe pé àwọn gbọ́dọ̀ wà nínú Nàìjíríà ṣáá ni. I don't know what they want to take out of Nigeria. Because when we look at it, there's nothing to write home about it for Nigeria. There's literally nothing. Could sink up and write home about it. So I believe we have a caller that is coming through. Sometimes people are calling the second number, but that's fine since there's software and so the two phones available. Number mi gangan. So let's see if this person wants to join the program. Ṣé fẹ́ dá sẹ́rọ̀ ètò tá à ń ṣe ni?
Yes, ẹ kú iṣẹ́.
Àwa ni ẹ sà, amen sà, ẹ gbóhùn sókè. Ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ, mo fi interject mo kàn fi lọ gbómi kaná ni. Kò ń ṣe pé lórí kerosene o, mo máa plug ẹ̀ ní bàbá máa plug ẹ̀. Ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ.
Mo fẹ́ kí àwọn èèyàn kan understand nípa ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn tó dá sí, àwọn tí ò dá sí, àwọn tó sọ pé kò ní ṣojú àwọn. It's a blessing in disguise. Ẹ rí i pé gbogbo àwọn tó kẹ̀yìn sí ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá yẹn, these are the people tó jẹ́ pé if eventually they are involved in making Yoruba nation work out, the same template tó ń fi gba ayé Nàìjíríà jẹ́ náà ló tún máa lò. Ṣé ń gbọ́ mi?
À ń gbọ́ yín sà, ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀ à ń gbọ́ yín sà.
The same template tó ń fi gba Nàìjíríà jẹ́ òun ló máa lò ní Yorùbá nation. So you don't really worry about them. No matter orúkọ wọn ṣe tóbi tó, no matter wọn ṣe popular tó, ọlọ́mọ náà fẹ́ yọ wọn sẹ́yìn. Yorùbá nation lè move fast. Because without them, it will come real. Everything will work out. Ọlọ́mọ mọ̀ pé ẹ̀mí burúkú yẹn sí wọn nú ni. Kéèyàn kan máa sọ pé tí ò bá sóhun kìíní kan ò ní ṣe kìíní kan. Ẹ má worry nípa wọn àtọ́. Àti tó ti wà nípò ńlá rí àti tó wà ń bẹ̀ àti ẹ má worry nípa wọn àtọ́. Just let's focus. Let us focus. Yes.
So ká forge ahead. Ká má ronú nípa tiwọn because tá a bá ronú nípa tiwọn wọ́n máa gbà pé.
In fact, distraction burúkú ni ẹ má jẹ́ kó wọ́n fẹ́ ẹ má make wọn popular again.
Okay.
Don't make them popular. Even one of our past politicians don sọ pé there will be whatever, there will be revolution kìnìkan wọ́n oríṣiríṣi ọ̀bẹ ló fẹ́ máa yọjú wọ́n fẹ́ make ara wọn wà relevant ni. Anybody tí voice ò bá ti loud ní time tó attack gbogbo yẹn kò relevant. Anybody tí voice ò bá ti loud sí Buhari ní time tó fẹ́ pa Ìgbòho, forget them. God bless you.
Yeah, you'll have no signal up there with the scaffolding.
Ẹ má sọ̀rọ̀ yín, ẹ má bínú mo ní engineer tó wà nílé yìí, so that's good. Right, come on, what's it again?
So ọ̀rọ̀ mi ò jí yẹn lọ.
All right, ẹ ṣé gan ni sir.
Ẹ ṣé gan, God bless you.
All right, thank you sir.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep you busy for a while. Let me put something on.
Okay, no satellite signal, is it?
Well, apart from that, when it doesn't come on as well on the screen.
There's nothing to be done until the scaffolding comes down.
Okay.
You can't.
Because of the scaffolding.
Yeah, you can't touch it.
Yeah, the scaffolding was just put on just a few days ago.
Yeah. Until that comes down, we can't let you dish up properly because they'll be pushing the dish.
That's all. But there seems to be
I think she seems to be the story lost. Okay, this one time round is not. Is too standard.
There is all kinds of positions. Afenifere is talking about restructuring. You are talking about self-determination.
You don't know this. You don't know the nature of the Yoruba society. You don't. Most of the young people, and they are the majority in Yoruba land, want the self-determination of their Yoruba nation. That's the truth of the matter. That's what is keeping the movement going. And they are also doing so in the diaspora. Yoruba young men and women all over the world want their own country, separate from Nigeria. Then you cannot deny that. No matter how much you want to pander to the government, you cannot deny that.
But
that's the truth.
But anyway,
the important thing, however, and I'm surprised that you are not talking about that, is that the Yoruba people who are fighting for self-determination are telling the world and telling themselves that they will do it only peacefully. We are Yoruba. We know our status in the world. We know our status in the black world. We do not want to destroy the peace of Nigeria. And we do not want to bring difficulty into the lives of any other group in Nigeria. But we want to get out of Nigeria. That's it.
Well, Prof, you are a strong member.
I'm not talking about that. You are asking me questions. You are asking me questions as if what Oluwole has the support of the majority of Yoruba people who want self-determination. It is not true.
Well, Prof,
he has a small minority of a section that is ready to do illegalities. A year ago, they went and attacked a radio station in Ibadan, and so on. Now this year, they are attacking the entire government of Ibadan, and so on. No, we have never sent anybody to go and do that, and we do not support it or encourage it.
Prof,
and we think it is criminal.
Prof,
and so if they get punished for their criminality, we have no objection to that.
Prof, you are a strong member.
Because of them generalizing opposition to self-determination. You cannot.
Well, Prof, you are a strong member of the Unity Party of Nigeria. Also a very strong member of Afenifere. Afenifere is talking about restructuring. You are now talking about self-determination. What is the difference? You know, in these two areas?
Yes, our fathers in Afenifere are doing the right thing. Talking about restructuring, so that we can go back and live our own life the way we used to live it prosperously. They're doing the right thing. There is nothing wrong with that. But we, another group of people, larger in number than they, are now saying, no, self-determination is the answer, not restructuring. Why? Because when you restructure, you are still in Nigeria. The people who are coming and disrupting your life and destroying your farms and killing your women and raping your mothers and daughters and so on are still Nigerians. They still have the right to come to Nigeria. The only final solution to that is to separate so that you have a separate Yoruba country where we can make our own laws and so on, where to which we admit only people we want to admit. So nobody can claim that they have a right to come to our land. They don't have such a thing. But as long as we are in Nigeria, no matter what restructuring is done, they still have the right to come to our land and do the things that we are doing. Nobody is talking about the fact that most Yoruba farmers have been driven from their farms. I am not hearing that. I'm hearing only about government. I'm not hearing about people. You are not talking about the fact that most Yoruba farmers have been driven from their farms and that the Yoruba nation is in danger of famine upon famine for years and years to come. You are not talking of the fact that the Fulani declared the war on Nigeria on the 24th of January and 26th of January and said that Tinubu is not our president. We are going to Aso Rock. We will take over the seat of government there, and we will use this place to organize the conquest of the rest of Nigeria. You're not talking about that. You are not talking of people who said, no Fulani man must be arrested for the bomb in Ibadan. If you do, we will have bombs in every town in Nigeria. Nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about the sheer insult of living in a country where some people are treating the government like that. You are talking about unity and so on. Why do our...
Well, Prof, let me ask you this. Self-determination,
you are entitled to your opinion. You are entitled to your opinion, but what I'm saying is that your opinion rigorously avoids the truth. Rigorously.
But Prof,
avoids the truth.
Nigeria, as Onigo Chiche told us in his research on ethnic nationalities in Nigeria, has over 300 ethnic nationalities. Will you recommend self-determination to all the other ethnic nationalities in Nigeria? For all these
those who want it, don't ask me a general question. I'm asking for self-determination for a nation, the Yoruba nation. There are about 60 million people in Nigeria, and their territory is large enough to be a large country. So that's what I'm talking about. Any other nationality in Nigeria that wants self-determination is free to ask for it. I cannot come and ask for self-determination for nations that are not mine. No.
Yeah, we're back now. Emma Bino, I had an engineer that came to check something in the house, and he's gone now. And we're back here. Moki Grandma Felicia, I got Moki Baba Shegun Vision, and as many of you that have joined us as well. So let's crack on. I'm not sure whether it's back in with me. The line is still open for anyone that wants to add their voice. I'm going to recap on the program this morning. The number to call is on the screen, +44 74 0440 5917. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa tí ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ wa ní gbogbo ibi tí Ọlọ́run ti ní kẹ́ láǹfààní láti máa gbọ́ wa ní èní again. Mo kí gbogbo wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí i, and welcome once again. Let's pick the request coming through. Waris Jinodi mo kí bàbá wa ẹ ṣé gan ni. Okay, Yoruba. Shout out to all my Biafrans as well. We love you, like I always say on this platform. Also, we know that we all have a role to play. Mr. Said, okay, Mr. Akede, let's hear from you this morning. What happened to your audio? We can't hear you. Mr. Akede. All right, could be network. I don't know. Moki Momsimi, Moki Baba Akintoye Dada, Prince Bayo, Shitu Moki, Akede, Eban Bomi. I don't know whether you can hear me, but I can't hear you at all. Shout out to those on the Twitter, as also those that are listening on the other platforms. We wait for him to pick the audio from his end, but the number to the studio is +44 74 0440 5917. That's the number on the screen. If you want to add your voice to it. Let's remind us all the time that this is what Shetima says at the United Nations General Assembly.
Today, we are all witnesses to the heart-wrenching situation in Gaza and other Palestinian territories. We cannot discuss war and peace, conflicts and resolution, or humanitarian imperatives today without reflecting on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict that has been raging since 7th August last year. Of course, the conflict predates this period and has been simmering for a better part of half a century. What this tells us is that the international community has failed to live up to the spirit and aspirations of the United Nations to rid the world of inequality, violence, and domination of one people by another. Justice is antithetical to revenge. Freedom is an inalienable right and a natural entitlement that cannot be denied to any people. The Palestinian people deserve their independence. They deserve to have a home of their own in territories already recognized by this very assembly and by international law, which is being routinely ignored. Nigeria continues to urge efforts to bring back on track the two-state solution that offers the prospect for a new beginning for the region. Nigeria reaffirms to supporting United Nations peacekeeping operations. We recognize the need for Africa to build strong and professional armies to meet the multiple challenges we face. Consequently, we reiterate the call for international support to operationalize the African standby force in addition to the provision of requisite support and resources.
Well, you heard him very well. Shetima as Buhari endorsing and supporting the right to self-determination of the Palestinian people. But the same person disagreed for the Biafra, the Yoruba, and those that want to have their country to opt out of Nigeria. Is not endorsing that because they want to keep Nigeria together. And the longer we are forcing Nigeria together, the more problem we are creating now for today and the future. What future are we talking about? The future that is just right here in front of us. I'm not talking about in the next 3 years or 4 years. Every Nigerian can decide if they want to remain Nigerians, but what about those that doesn't want to be part of Nigeria anymore? How do we resolve that problem? How do we look into those that say, okay, we want Nigeria to be together, but what about the ones that want to opt out? And I'll take us back to New Zealand, where those that are calling themselves Sikh, Khalistan, wants to have the right to self-determination from India. We showed you the video this morning, but before I go to that video, it's always good to remind ourselves that if this is what you're expecting from the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, you will have to wait a very long time. Let's listen to this.
If the Constitution maintains by Section 2 that Nigeria is one indissoluble nation and doesn't provide for means or procedure by which a people or a particular sector of the nation, a federating people, can choose to say at this particular point we want to have a nation of our own, and it doesn't provide for a peaceful means by which this can be guaranteed, there will always be frictions that will be leading to violence, killings, and bloodshed. And to avoid this, it is imperative that we look at that provision of Section 2 that says that Nigeria is one indissoluble, indestructible entity that doesn't make provision for the procedure by which a people can advance the right to self-determination. There have been many occasions where, on so many occasions we hear from the Arewa People's Congress or whatever agitating that yes, if Nigeria cannot work, they want to go on their own. The Biafra agitators are there. We have the Odua nation and what have you. If the Constitution provides for a procedure to determine peacefully whether a people can separate from Nigeria, you see that some of these agitations might be completely quenched. For instance, let me give you one. Tomorrow now, if we provide for referendum or plebiscite, these are political procedures for determining whether a nation or a nation in a country, because I want to take the definition of a nation here to mean the ethnic nationalities, maybe the Yoruba nation, the Igbo nation, the Arewa nation, or Ijo, Ibibio, and what have you. Now, if a people can be entitled to right to call for plebiscite that can be supervised by international organs like the United Nations and what have you, it can be safely and easily determined that, okay, these people in this particular area has done in 1960, in 1959-60, if my recollection is right, with the people of the southern part of
Cameroon, who formed part of Nigeria before, but when they decided that no, they wanted to be on their own, then a plebiscite was conducted and they were able to have a separate nation of their own. If we say Nigeria is an indissoluble entity and will not tolerate any agitation by which people can determine whether they want to be on their own, definitely we are only calling for crisis on our own net. Tomorrow now, if you subject it to plebiscite, that's okay.
So why are we calling for crisis? Sherry, I don't want anybody to see our platform as a platform that is asking for violence and all that. You had, okay, let me bring my camera in back. And I'm moving about Adasi. Egbon Koti, this senior advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Lekon Adegoke. Only if you push people together and you're not giving room to publicize, allowing the UN to come and talk about whether these two people wants to live together or the three people wants to live together, you are calling for crisis. So I don't want you to always quote me and say, oh, Koiki is calling for crisis. No, let's listen again to what this senior advocate of Nigeria is saying. And we are telling Tinubu to not allow crisis to erupt in Nigeria. But is Tinubu going to listen to me? Is Bayo Ononuga going to tell Tinubu that there is going to be a crisis if you continue to hold the people together? And I hope that Daniel Bawala would allow us to engage in so that he can pass the message to President Bola Tinubu that the Yoruba people and the Arewas, because that is the North, Professor Ango Abdullahi, it's not the first time they are saying it. In 2017, he says that the North are also prepared for the breakup of Nigeria, but nobody wants bloodshed. So the question then is, how do we resolve all these? Moke Olakunle, welcome to the program. As you're joining, all you need to do is just click the share button. That doesn't cost you a dime. It doesn't cost you any penny, not even 1 naira. So, are we saying that these legal lawyers, these experts that understand the laws of the world, that knows that what Igboho and Biafra and Arewa are asking for is just their right? Tinubu might not allow it, he might not like it, but that right cannot be thrown away, not even by your governors. Your governors cannot throw away the rights. Shout out to all the freedom fighters that want to be free from this bondage. I want you to have access to travel around the world without any restriction as asking for visas. The world is a beautiful place, but as Nigerians, it's not because of leadership. It's because we are entrapped in a country called Nigeria. Yemi Pato Kimokinyi, Mr. Brown, Akinola. Let's check something. How many people have shared the program? Just put 1 or yes. And Iwoloma money no share, share. How many of you have shared the program today? Or you just want to like to watch me and say, Kakopi Pashayo, or Kagbo, Kale share, Kelomino li kweko ninu kotan she. Fi owo so coin, ko so pe emi ti share. Moke Aziz Badeshere, Egbon mi dada. This is the second program for today. Ẹ̀yin ṣe fẹ́ lọ sùn, à ń ṣe kan lọ́wọ́, ẹ tútù jí àwà lẹ́nu ẹ̀. Ìtọ́ ṣe ń pè ní mídíà, gbogbo mídíà. Mo tó bẹ̀ mo jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ, adúpẹ́ fọ́lọ́run. Ẹ̀yin tẹ̀lé ń ṣàdúrà fún wa. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi triple order lẹ́nu iṣẹ́. Kò jẹ́ kẹ́yìn tó máa sọ pé one, because I know some of you are at work. And I don't want to compromise you if you're at work, because we need to work to survive, especially in Europe. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ nǹkan tí this lawyer, ẹ ṣe gan ni bàbá mi Bámidélé Aliu. Àwọn tó wà lórí Facebook, àwọn ọ̀tẹ̀ ẹ̀gbọ́n wọlé share torí mo rí ẹnìkan tó comment láti Facebook. Ẹ ń bá mi jà ní. Àbára wa jà náà, ẹ bá mi sọ pé ẹ ti share náà. Kínú mi náà dùn. Àwọn èèyàn bá mi sọ pé àwọn ti share program yìí. Yes, this is the second program for the day. I run a 2 hours program from 4 o'clock to 6 in the morning. And I went back to bed at about 7, almost 8 o'clock. Mo ṣáà sùn bí 2.5 hours kan. Mo kí Bishop Adesina. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin alálùbáríkà. I greet everyone, whether you are Yoruba. I greet Hausa people. We don't hate you. We just don't want to live together. I don't want to live in a Sharia country. I want to live in a country that respects me. So let's listen again. And I will be playing more of this video because as the time is ticking, we are still begging Tinubu. We are begging him. Don't allow eruption of violence in Nigeria, whether in the southeast or the southwest or even in the northern part of Nigeria. It's amazing that nobody on Facebook have said they share the program. What an interesting time to be alive. So kò sí àwọn kan tó wà lórí Facebook tó share program wa. Ó ga o. Mo wà lórí Koiki Media, mo dẹ̀ wà lórí Koiki Media dúdú wà níbí báyìí. And nobody has indicated that they share. Okay, Mr. Gbadamosi, ẹ̀jẹ̀ ń pín tọ̀dọ̀ tí ẹnìkan. Okay, ẹ̀yin méjì péré lẹ sọ pé share. Mr. Azan Tijanini, we need our self-determination. But bá mi sọ bí ẹ ti share sir. Ẹ bá mi sọ pé bí ẹ share bẹ́ẹ̀ share. Marcel, only we need our freedom. Bá mi confirm bí ẹ ti share. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ tẹ́ wà lẹ́nu iṣẹ́. Arisha sọ pé free Nnamdi Kanu, free Biafra, free Yoruba nation, even free Hausa people. We gotta free ourselves. I love the APC and the PDP and Showore and the Labour Party. We are not fighting each other. We just want to know whether the unity is still working. Princess Ayigbe Eshegonima. Share. And the line is open. If you are one Nigeria, come and engage me. But you can't convince me at this point to join Nigeria. It is too late. It is even too late to restructure Nigeria. Mr. Jimaremu Adeoshun, I love you too. Mokio went to Ogun State. I love you in Sokoto State. I love you in Kaduna. All our military, I'm begging you, from December 2nd, whatever the Southeast Biafrans want to do not be used by your government against the people. You can be charged under International Criminal Court for the massacre and the killings of innocent people. This is not 1967. The world is so exposed. Even if they shut down all the internet, people will record and they will move to a location and they will upload and I will receive the videos. Even if they shut down the internet in the Southeast from December 2nd. So we are pleading, I'm betting Tinubu, and about more Tinubu, I'm Benny Lori program Lenny. I'm not cursing him, I'm begging President Bola Tinubu to reveal the right to self-determination of those that wants to go. We can sit on the round table and we can decide that in the next 6 months, this is what we're going to do. In the next 12 months and in the next 2 years, everybody goes their separate ways. And we can share whatever we have. Olukalukwa gba portion tier. Eshegoni Mr. Ahmed. Salaam alaikum to all my Muslim brothers and sisters. I love you too much. I was born as a Muslim and I love Islam, and Islam is not a deadly religion as people are calling it. I am a Muslim. And neither do I still, I am still a believer on Islam. But I believe in Ifa, and I believe as a Christian that everybody must live side by side. In your corner, I have shared to 5 people. We're not giving money for you to share. I am just encouraging us to share, especially this platform. We are now at the Rubicon. What does it mean? We are at the Rubicon to continue to say that, but it seems that according to this lawyer, that they are pushing for that. I am not the one that said it. I'm talking about Mr. Lekom. I just paused the video. I will put it back on. And I'm reading your comment as well. And if you want to engage me, please do so. The line is open. You can call in. +44 74 0440 5917. Either direct call or WhatsApp. It doesn't make any difference. 1224. I will run this program for 3 hours. That means we've done 1.5 hours. I have the time this morning. Triple DR said, brother, you don't need to beg him. Those who doesn't want to make history, they will belong to history. Mr. Fal, again, no glasses, because if I'm not wearing glasses, I'm straining my eyes. It's not good for me as well. Mr. Falemu Stephen, one of Mr. Koiki, Trinity, it is good of you. ẹ jẹ́ ká bẹ Tinubu, Abdullahi Mukia, ẹ jẹ́ ká bẹ. Mr. Moses, yes, peaceful and claiming by Nigerian security agency on 2nd December is better than to see your own brother fighting for justice. Any Nigerian military should think about it before they release that bullet from 2nd of December should the Biafra make a declaration. I know you are under the Nigerian armed forces to go and secure Nigeria. You will not be able to secure Nigeria because people will fight back. It will be like what we told you this morning, how the IRA fought the British government. And I'll give you the timeline again. Mukiele Nkonsi, brother Midada. Let's call all these Islam, Christian, Onisheshe to come together and tell Tinubu that Nigeria needs now to dissolve the amalgamate. Let's tell King Charles, God bless King Charles, that the Nigeria that they want to keep together will finally be amalgamated by peace or by pieces. Mr. Waris, said not all Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo military hijab practitioner in the British wig and the dark robe under the Nigerian Armed Forces, Nigerian Bar Nigerian Advocate can be counted on for Yoruba nation self-determination. Unfortunately, many people that are Yoruba, well-educated, just want Nigeria to continue and they think that there can be peace in the land. Yes, there will be peace some places, but there will be fire out some places very soon. So we have a call coming through. Let's take the call and hear what this caller wants to join and tell us on this morning program. Like I said, we are getting a full program today. It's a 3 hours program. Take advantage and add your voice. Hello, callers. Hi, they need to Soyinbo. Omo Yoruba to ba wole, Yoruba ni ke so. I can translate to those that do not understand. But today is about English and Yoruba. But to ba pe, e ma ni ti ba lo pe ko ike nisin ko ma lo ma mess me up. Oloyinbo ni laaro e. It goes okay, alagbawa. Because I want people to be comfortable with their language. It goes okay. Man live be man pe mi. Mr. Olayomi Koiki. E ma pe ton dele ni. E ma pe ton dele ni. E ka so Mr. Olayomi Koiki. It goes okay, sir. Thank you so much. Àbí Jésù Kristi. Àmín Allah. Àmín. Ẹ bá wa dá sí.
Mo ṣe pé bóyá rí àgbàlagbà tó tà. Ṣé ẹ rí lọ́wọ́ tá a wà yìí? Àgbà tó bá yẹ ká fún lẹ́gbàá ká fún lẹ́gbàá. Àgbà tó bá yẹ ká fún ní kòbókò ká fún ní kòbókò. Ṣé ẹ rí bàbá Ọbásanjọ́ mo sọ́ọ̀rì kò sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu bàbá yẹn sà.
Okay.
Kò sí ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu bàbá yẹn nítorí pé Ọlọ́run fún bàbá yẹn lórí ọ̀fẹ́. Ọlọ́run fún ní orí ọ̀fẹ́ tó yẹ pé mo fẹ́ lè sọ pé nínú gbogbo àwọn tó ń ṣe olórí lórílẹ̀-èdè kò fẹ́ sẹ́ni tó rí irú orí ọ̀fẹ́ ẹ̀ gbà. Nítorí tí kì í bá ṣe pé ọba Abacha jáde láyé egungun tí wọn náà bá ti jẹrà nínú kòtò tipẹ́tipẹ́. Àwọn òkè ń jókòó kí wọ́n rántí ọjọ́ tí ikú yẹ̀ lórí wọn. Wọn ò rántí tó bá yẹ kó bá rántí ni àwọn gbọ́ngàn ní the first person tó yẹ kó líìdì láti gba ọmọ Yorùbá kúrò lóko ẹrú kó tó di pé wọ́n lọ. Ṣùgbọ́n wá ṣe mí láàánú pé nígbà tí wọ́n ti wá di tí wọ́n ti dàgbà tán jẹ́ pé sàárè ti ń wawọ́ sí wọn àwọn náà tó súnmọ́ sàárè ni wọ́n wá ń sọ yí pé Yorùbá nation ò lè dúró lójú wọn. Kì í ṣe dandan kí Yorùbá nation dúró lójú wọn bí ò dúró lójú wọn á dúró lẹ́yìn wọn. Nítorí tẹ́ ẹ bá wò dáadáa tà ibi tí bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ fi ṣe fáàmù ní ìlú Èrúwà bàbá yìí ló ta ló ba gbogbo ẹ̀jẹ̀. Gbogbo iṣẹ́ Awólọ́wọ̀ pátápátá bàbá yìí ló bàjẹ́. Báwo lọ́wọ́ ò ṣe débẹ̀ nígbà tí wọ́n dìbò mú pẹ̀lú Ṣàgàrí nígbà yẹn bàbá yìí náà ló wà bẹ̀. So bàbá yìí ò wáyé láti táyé ṣe ó wáyé láti ba ayé jẹ́. Àwọn ò tiẹ̀ níbi tí wọ́n bá ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ ní lọ́dọ̀ ọmọ kan kò sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu wọn rárá. Nítorí pé bí ilé ayé ìṣe máa jẹ́ tiwọn nìkan kò dẹ̀ sẹ́ni tó lè lé ayé bá. Do your best and leave the rest nílé ayé yìí. Ṣùgbọ́n ohun tó o bá ṣe sílẹ̀ ló máa sọ àtìrandínú ẹ̀ ló máa sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Tá a bá wò ó sì gbogbo Ṣàgàrí nígbà tí Ṣàgàrí ń ṣèjọba lọ́wọ́ àti nísinsìnyí jẹ́ agbọ́rò Ṣàgàrí mọ́ lórílẹ̀-èdè. so ihun tó bá ṣe sílẹ̀ òun ni nǹkan tá a máa sọ so kò sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu wọn bí Yorùbá nation ò bá dúró lójú wọn á dúró lẹ́yìn wọn. Á dúró lẹ́yìn wọn nítorí pé wọ́n ti sọ lẹ́nu wọn àwọn náà wọ́n ti fi yé gbogbo ayé pé àwọn ò fẹ́ kọ́mọ Yorùbá kó kò lóko ẹrú. Ṣé bí gbogbo operation feed the nation ṣùgbọ́n náà fi ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ làwọn fi ń ṣayé. Kò dẹ̀ sẹ́ni tó lọ sọ́run tó kó lọ sọ́run. Rárá gbogbo ohun tó ń ṣe sílẹ̀ àwọn wọ́n ń gbé ẹ̀bùn kà sílẹ̀ àwọn ọmọ wa dẹ̀ jẹ́ bẹ̀. So kò sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu wọn rárá tó bá ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ kò yẹ ká máa ka ọ̀rọ̀ wọn sí rárá. So bí Yorùbá nation ò bá dúró lójú wọn á dúró lẹ́yìn wọn. Nítorí kò sẹ́ni tó lè lórí ayé ìbò ẹ̀ láyé wàá ṣe tiẹ̀ wàá kú bẹ́ẹ̀. So bàbá Akintoye tó wá dúró ẹ̀kọ́ tí bàbá yẹn dàgbà dé tí bàbá yẹn sì sọ pé sẹ́ àná òun máa gba Yorùbá nation Ọlọ́run á dẹ̀ fi Ọlọ́run àfọdún kọjú bàbá yẹn ò ní kọjú. Ẹ wo bàbá olóyè Sunday Igboho ta ló lè ṣerú ẹ lẹ́yìn kéèyàn ní ọrọ̀ kó ní owó kó mọ̀ ọ̀yàn kó ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ kó wá sọ pé òun fẹ́ fi ẹ̀mí òun lélẹ̀ nítorí ìran òun irú onítọ̀hún yẹn kò tí ì sí nílẹ̀ Yorùbá báyìí. So gbogbo nǹkan tí bàbá yẹn sọ yẹn òun ó ń fi ẹ̀bùn kà sílẹ̀ ó dẹ̀ ó ń gba iná lórí ààrẹ àti lórí ìrọ̀dìrún àtàwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ nígbà tó bá lọ tán. Kò sí ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu wọn rárá. Bí wọ́n fẹ́ bí wọ́n kọ̀ Yorùbá nation máa dúró nítorí ó ti tó gẹ́ ìyà yìí tó gẹ́ ìyà ò gbọ́dọ̀ jù báyìí lọ nílùú Nàìjíríà táwa yìí. Ẹni tó bá róúnjẹ méjì jẹ kó máa dúpẹ́ tó bá róúnjẹ méjì jẹ lọ́wọ́ táwa yìí kó máa dúpẹ́ káwá tí àtọ̀ á rí èèyàn kan tó máa jáde kò bá ìjọba kò bá jẹ́ kí òyà máa tẹ̀ sójú ẹ̀ nígbà tó bá máa dúgbà kò bá yá surprise ló máa jẹ́ nítorí pé nígbà tí SARS máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ o kò sẹ́ni bọ́dì wọn ò mú lẹ́tà lọ sílé anybody ó kàn dédé bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní nígbà tó bá máa ó ti ń rú gbogbo ó ti dójú ẹ̀ báyìí nígbà tó bá máa gbúgbà báyìí àwọn kò ní dúró kò tán àtọ́ba àti ìjòyè ẹni bá lóun ò sọpọ́ọ̀tì Yorùbá nation kó gbẹ̀dọ̀ ẹ̀dákẹ́ kó dẹ̀ dúró jẹ́jẹ́ rẹ̀.
lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Tinubu ṣé ká bẹ Tinubu ni àbí báwo lè rí sí ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn.
mísọlá ẹ̀mí kò kì í ṣe pé bóyá gbogbo ohun tá à ń ṣe yìí gbogbo ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ kì í ṣe pé Tinubu ò mọ̀ òun náà mọ̀ ṣùgbọ́n torí pé wọ́n jẹ́ ìka ènìyàn tó dá sí ènìyàn ni wọ́n gbámú mọ́yó tí wọ́n dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé ebi pa ìran Yorùbá ṣùgbọ́n kò sí nǹkan tó kàn kí gbogbo ilé ayé ìsájẹ tiwọn ìka èèyàn ni wọ́n tí wọ́n bá gbà lérò wọ́n á gbà lélẹ̀ wọ́n lọ ka Báíbù dáadáa àwọn ọba tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n lágbára wọn ní ẹ̀kọ́ Ọlọ́run mú wọn balẹ̀ ṣé ń gbọ́ nítorí gbogbo ohun tó ṣẹlẹ̀ àwọn náà ò lè sọ pé àwọn ò gbọ́ wọ́n máa ń wo fídíò Yorùbá nation tẹ́ ẹ bá rántí nígbà kan tí wọ́n ṣe prógámù kan ẹni pé Yorùbá nation ni wọ́n fi ṣe áńtẹ̀mù wọn ni wọ́n kà tí gbogbo wọn péjọ bí tọ́kù tó di kó ń ṣẹlẹ́ṣọ̀ yẹn ṣáwá sọ pé òun rí àwọn náà wọ̀n ṣùgbọ́n kò sí nǹkan tó kan ìgbésí ayé Yorùbá pẹ̀lú wọn ṣùgbọ́n gbà tó bá dójú àwọn náà mọ̀ pé kò sí nǹkan táwọn lè ṣe sí Yorùbá lọ kò sí nǹkan tí wọ́n lè ṣe sí kò sí gbogbo àwọn àmì tí wọ́n gbójúlé àwọn náà máa yójú padà sí wọn a ti bẹ̀ wọ́n wọn ò gbà a ti bẹ̀ wọ́n a ti sọ àtọmọdé àtàgbà àtọkùnrin àtobìnrin a ti sọ wọn ò gbà tí wọ́n bá dẹ̀ gbà lẹ́rọ̀ wọ́n á gbà lélẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ tèmi ò jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ.
ẹ ṣé gan ni mo dúpẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ náà bá fẹ́ pé the caller was just taking us through why we should not even listen to Obasanjo because it's of no use listening to such an individual at any point. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń béèrè pé Koiki báwo la ṣe máa sọ̀rọ̀ Yoruba ó kúkú ń ṣàlàyé ẹ̀ fún wa kódà ó ló fẹ́ sàn kankan lẹ́ẹ̀kan ó tún sọ́mọ́ kí ni ọ̀rọ̀ Yoruba and like I always say we all have to support something so that we can make it grow and we can all be of benefit. Bishop Adesina tí gbogbo wa mọ̀ dáadáa is the one that is behind that particular project. And that project, like any other project around the world, can grow if we support it very well. We have a new caller that is coming through. Let's take the call. Mute background. Ẹ ti wọlé caller ẹ ṣàlejò wa bro. That be mute ẹ ṣàlejò. Ẹ̀yin lẹ ẹ bá mute background ni. Mute background ẹ bá mute.
Okay, mo ti mute dance, mo ti mute.
Go ahead now, I'm going to.
Ẹ kú iṣẹ́.
Sir.
Ṣe rí ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà lẹ̀ yìí, ẹrú ni wá ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Ṣe rí mo lọ síbi alọ́pàtì kan ní wíkẹ̀ndì yìí. Ṣàwárà àwọn tí wọ́n ṣe pàtì yẹn, àwọn ará Island ni wọ́n tí wọ́n ti táwọn náà move wá sí ìlú yìí. So Island yẹn lèmi náà ti gbé bẹ́ẹ̀ rí ibẹ̀ làwọn náà ti wá sí ìlú yìí padà. So àwa wà ní round table. Gbogbo àwọn tí a lè tó wà round table yìí ni mo máa ń sọ, wọ́n bá ti rí pé kọ́kọ́ ṣẹlẹ̀, wọ́n máa ní ẹ̀yin Yorùbá nation ọ̀rẹ́ ni gbogbo wa, wọ́n máa ń fi mí ṣe, wọ́n máa fi ń dàgbà.
Ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀, ṣé Yorùbá làwọn tẹ́ ń sọ yìí?
Yorùbá ni wọ́n.
Okay, alright, ká lè clear dáadáa náà dànù.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ọ̀rẹ́ mi gbogbo àjọ gbé ní Island. So èmi máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá ni, tí wọ́n máa ń fi mí dàgbà rà pé èwo ló ṣe máa ń dùn mí tí irú ẹ̀yin àbí yèyé dára àbí bàbá lẹ́kìtì tí nǹkan bá ṣẹlẹ̀ tẹ́ ní parí ẹ̀ láàrin ara yín láì má gbé wá sórí afẹ́fẹ́. Wọ́n máa ń pè mí, wọ́n á máa fi mí ṣe yẹ̀yẹ́ pé ṣé o ti ráwọn tẹ̀ ń tẹ̀lé, ṣé o ti rí bọ́ ṣe ń bára wọn jà. So àwọn nǹkan bẹ́yẹn ẹ̀yìn ló yẹ kẹ́ ti máa parí ẹ̀ kì í ṣe lórí afẹ́fẹ́. Ìyẹn kan. So ìgbà tó wá ń sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n ní ṣẹ́yìn ò rí pé ẹrú ni wá ní under Nàìjíríà ni. Wọ́n ní báwo la ṣe jẹ́ mo ní òkè máa ṣàlàyé fún yín. Ẹ wò bàtà wa wà ní Island. Ìgbà yẹn làwọn èèyàn wọn fi ń travel lọ sí Amẹ́ríkà. Àwọn bàbá wọn. Wọ́n náà bàbá wọn yẹn ni wọ́n wá jà fún òmìnira Island tí èmi àti ẹ̀yin tá a di àǹfààní ẹ̀ níbẹ̀ nígbà tá a lọ bí ọmọ wa síbẹ̀. Mo ní tí bẹ́yìn ṣe ń ronú làwọn bàbá yẹn ṣe ronú lọ́nà ọ̀nà. Èmi àti yín ò ní di àǹfààní yẹn. Ṣèbáwa gbé bẹ̀ àgbà ìwé wọn ń sìn. Àwa ṣe bó ṣe wùwà, à ń lọ bí tó wùwà láì má jẹ́ lọ́ máa gba visa. Àwọn bàbá Irish kan náà jà fún ogún òmìnira yẹn. So ẹrú ni wá ní under Nàìjíríà ní ìran Yorùbá lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí. So ẹ má kọ̀ndẹ́mù àwọn because wọ́n fẹ́ máa kọ̀ndẹ́mù olóyè pé ẹni tó Ọlọ́run ti dá lóhùn tó wá lọ ṣe mistake tó lọ tẹ̀lé ọ̀rọ̀. Mo ní àwọn irú olóyè yẹn náà nírú àwọn bàbá Irish ọjọ́ náà lọ́hùn tí wọ́n sá lọ sí Amẹ́ríkà tí wọ́n fowó ránṣẹ́ sílùú wọn lọ́dẹ̀ ń fáìtì ẹ̀ ní house ní Amẹ́ríkà pé Ireland gbọ́dọ̀ kúrò lábẹ́ UK. Mo ní ṣe bí yẹn náà èmi àtẹ̀yìn ló fi dí báwa náà lè lọ síbẹ̀ láyé fi gbà wá a fi bí wọn síbẹ̀ táwọn ọmọ wa níwèé táwa náà níwèé. tó ẹ jẹ́ ká ro ọ̀rọ̀ yìí dáadáa ẹ má blame olóyè nífẹ̀ẹ́ ìran ẹ̀yin kò ṣe mistake ìfẹ́ yẹn lẹ́yìn òní ẹ̀yin sì ẹ̀ ń ṣe wípé bámúbámú lẹ yó ẹ kò sí nǹkan tó kàn yín pẹ̀ ìgbà wọn sọ fún mi bẹ́ẹ̀ pé ṣé mi ò rí pé tí máa lọ Nàìjíríà sí pé tí máa 1,000 pound dání bí 2.2 million yẹn ni màá ṣe sí. mo ní ṣe yẹn wá àwọn tó wá wà mẹ́yẹ tó wọ́n á sọ fáǹkọ́ kí ló dé tá à ń ro tara wa nìkan kí ló dé tá à ro àwọn tí wọn ò ní àǹfààní láti travel. so èmi kàn ń sọ eléyìí àwọn èèyàn wa tó bá ń gbọ́ ètò yìí tí wọ́n ń tẹ̀lé ìjọba Nàìjíríà kò sí ọ̀nà níbẹ̀ ìparun ni ọ̀nà kan ṣoṣo tá a ní náà ní ká kúrò níbẹ̀ ẹrú sì ní wa ẹ máa bí jùlọ ẹ kú jẹ́.
Before kí n tó ẹ ṣe gan ni kọ́là wa kí n tó gbé akéde wọlé lórí Twitter space mo kí brother mi tó pè wá tán and I appreciate the call. First and foremost, let me put it this way. Many Yoruba people that are against this movement, and if you have benefited from whether you live in Ireland, UK, America, Canada, Australia, and you've been able to achieve their own immigration status, either you're married, but you are no longer just a Nigerian. Even if you don't have their passport yet, because not everybody that lives in this country have their passport. You are one of the selfish individuals that we can talk about. Selfish. And the reason why you're selfish is that those countries that you're running to, or you've run to rather, document one, just like the class scholar says. Each one of these countries fought, even blood was spilled. And I'll go back to my program I did this morning at 4 o'clock and remind us on this particular broadcast as well exactly how I put it, but I will allow Akede to the network and log in and out. Mawa Shalaye Island, and I'm talking about Republic of Ireland. I gave the narratives of how they exit the UK this morning. That's number one. Then the notion that because Ambarawa Jalori social media, that's the reason why I tell you support Yoruba Nation. Very stupid people. Very, very stupid. Oh, torí pé wọ́n gbé ọ̀rọ̀ wọn wá sí torí social media. À ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ìran Yorùbá. People can fight each other, people can disagree, and they can drag it on the social media. We are talking about the most important part, which is Yoruba Nation. Pé àwọn tó ń fẹ́ ṣe Yoruba Nation yẹn, àbáwọn tó ń ṣe yẹn, táwọn lọ àwọn ṣé ẹ̀yin ò ń bára yín jà nínú ilé yín? Ẹ̀yin àtàwọn ọ̀rẹ́ yóò kí ń bára yín jà. Ṣèbí torí pé ẹ̀ tí ìgbéra yín wá sórí social media ni. Do you know how many people are bringing their things to the social media now? That is the new world that we are living. And everybody wants to take advantage of whatever the social media means to them. So when people are saying, oh, one ja, support Yoruba Nation, you are one of the most stupid, idiot Yoruba person I can ever think of. Torí nínú ilé yín gan ọkọ àti ìyàwó ń jà. Ọlọ́run kò tí jẹ́ káwọn àkọ́ gbé wá sórí social media ni. Àwọn kan ti gbé wá sórí social media. So that is not an excuse not to support your own people. Your people that are crying that they are now being endangered. And you can see the selfishness of the people. Oh, because actually share 1,000 pounds, ó fún mi ní 2 million. Ẹ lọ dóbò nílé, ẹ gbọ́bìnrin nílé, ẹ ralé sílé, ẹ ṣe this and that. So that is all you can see. So because owó yẹn nísìn tí ẹ fẹ́ mú lọ sílé, because the pounds is 2,000 naira, àbí owó tí mo mú bọ̀ láti Belfast ni original money lílé, owó Belfast lílé, mo dẹ̀ ní original 10 pounds náà. At least Ọlọ́run ti ṣe pé àìtí ná yẹn. So because of this money, ẹ fẹ́ lọ ṣe sílé. Ó mà ṣe o. Irọ́ àìtí mi gbé kọ́ ẹ̀ because mo fẹ́ bá ẹ má bínú Mr. Abiodun, èmi mo override yìí, mo fẹ́ bá Akéde tètè gbá mi jẹ́ ń bẹ́ẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ Akéde. Ẹ má ti pè é tẹ́ fẹ́ pè. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n kọ́kọ́ jẹ́ kí Akéde ó bá mi sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ yẹ bá wa on mute. Ó mà ṣe o. A mà ti wá rògbò báyìí lọ́wọ́ àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tó wà labroad, especially àwọn tó ń gbé ní UK àti Republic of Ireland. Màá dẹ̀ ṣàlàyé fún yín bí Republic of Ireland bí wọ́n ṣe gba òmìnira wọn. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ ló ta sílẹ̀. Ìwọ wá gba passport yẹn nísìn, èmi wá ń jókòó síbí bàbá wọn pariwo the same thing táwọn ọ̀ràn bàbá tí wọ́n jà láti 1916. 1916 mo dẹ̀ fẹ́ yọ kíní Ọbásanjọ́ ìkúrò lẹ́yìn mi, bàbá òfò yìí. Because ó dà gbé bí ṣe ń wá kámẹ́rà ló ń gbé mi lọ sórí ẹ̀. But mo ń bọ̀ Mr. Kéde, mo ti fẹ́ fún yín ní gbogbo ti Island yẹn, but mo kàn fẹ́ kẹ̀sì máa wò lórí screen yìí, a máa sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí. Ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ máa wicked o. Ó mà ṣe o. Ó mà ṣe fáwọn àtàwà ní diaspora gan-an. Pé so ibi tẹ́lẹ̀ cap Yorùbá Nation sí nìyẹn torí ẹ̀yin ti lè travel wọ Nàìjíríà ẹ̀ nídìí visa. Ó mà ṣe o. Ọlọ́run máa ṣèdájọ́. Ọlọ́run gbọ́dọ̀ ṣèdájọ́ gbogbo wa pátá, gbogbo ìran Yorùbá tí kò fọwọ́ sọ̀rọ̀ ìrìn àjò yìí. Ọlọ́run gbọ́dọ̀ ṣèdájọ́ gbogbo wa. And I'll leave it like that for now. Ẹ bá ń gbóhùn sókè Mr. Kéde, mo sọ́rí gan.
Ẹ káàárọ̀ Mr. Banji.
Ẹ káàsán sà. Ètò nìyẹn.
Ẹ ṣe rí àwọn ẹwà tó wà níta. Opportunity ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ní ẹ̀wà níta. Ibi tẹ́ wà, tẹ́ ń gbé, tẹ́ ń lo owó, tẹ́ ń change sí náírà, tẹ́ ń lérò pé owó bẹ̀rẹ̀ tó ẹ ti wá lọ. Orí ọ̀fẹ́ lẹ́nu nílẹ̀. Àmọ́ ṣe rí ẹni tí wọ́n tàn, akọ̀ ló bá lé. Ẹni tó tàn yìí, ọ̀pọ̀ lójú. Ṣé wá rí ẹni tó wá tanra ẹ̀? ká wá sọ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà nílé ẹ̀ ń tanra yín ẹ̀ tún wá ń sunkún ẹnìkan ò ṣe yín o ẹ̀yin lẹ̀ ń ṣera yín. Àwọn tí wọ́n ń tàn yìí tí wọ́n wà níta ọgbọ́n orí wọn náà ní. Ẹ wá rò pé wọ́n gbọ́njú ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà nílé lọ. Wọn ò gbọ́njú ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà nílé lọ. Opportunity làwọn ní. Tó jẹ́ ká wà nìkan wà. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wọ́n ń tanra yín tẹ́ tí wọ́n ń sunkún ẹlẹ́bi ń pa yín ẹ̀ ń sunkún síta pé yà ń jẹ yín ẹ̀ lè mọ̀ kan tó ń ṣe yín bọ̀ ẹ̀ fẹ́ bọ̀ ẹ̀ fẹ́ gbára yín. Gbogbo àwọn tó wà lórí ìjọba lẹ́nu nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá àwọn náà ti lò gbà kan rí tí wọn ò jẹ́ nǹkan tó ayé lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ kò wù wọ́n. Kì í ṣe opportunity náà fi débẹ̀ àwọn kan náà náà jà wọ́n tó débẹ̀. Nàìjíríà ò kì í ṣe Nàìjíríà níbo làwọn náà wà àwọn kan náà ló jàjà fún Nàìjíríà àwọn náà fi débẹ̀ wọ́n fi ṣe ìjọba. Wà agbára táwọn wá ní agbára wọn wá tipátipá agbára wọn wá ń lò nílò wọ́n ti lu ayé tiwọn wọ́n lu ayé táwọn bàbá wa. Wọ́n tún wá dé lu táwọn ọmọ náà a lè tún fẹ́ lajú tẹ̀ máa wò. Nígbà wọn bá sọ nígbà orílẹ̀-èdè tí wọ́n jáde wọ́n mọ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ Nàìjíríà àwọn náà bàjẹ́ ti tó délé. Nàìjíríà lè máa ti rí olóṣèlú tó máa wà lórí ìjọba tá a ṣe tó ṣe fẹ́. A ṣe tó. Kò tó bá wá kúrò bẹ́ẹ̀, á máa sọ̀rọ̀ bí ẹni pé ó nífẹ̀ẹ́ yìí. Ẹ wàá máa rí bí ìsáyà. Mo tá a fẹ́ nílé ìgbà tó wà lórí ìjọba kò sí iṣẹ́ àbí kò ní làákàyè láti ṣe. Àwọn tẹni tó ń jẹ́ nílé tó sọ fún bí nǹkan tó yẹ kán ṣe nílé ṣe báwọn náà ti wà lórí ìjọba rí fún òṣè ṣe. Tí ó dí wọn lọ́wọ́ tí wọ́n fi ṣe. A lè dòkó. Ṣé torí tiwọn làwọn fi wá dá millions of àwọn èèyàn tó fẹ́ gbé ayé ṣe rere. Ọlọ́run ò dá wa Elédùmarè ò dá wa nílé ayé lásán. We have a purpose to be in this life. Ọmọ Yorùbá wáyé ayé àti lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn kákàtọ̀ lásán. Àti tọ́lọ́ ilé Elédùmarè ti dá wa sórílẹ̀-èdè ayé. Àwọn ìkà àwọn abayéjẹ́ àbàlújẹ́ kò fẹ́ kókò lẹ́ jáde. Tí wọ́n ló dé tà ṣe wá takò pé irọ́ torí èèyàn kan torí ìdílé kan àwọn akọ̀wé ọmọ Yorùbá sábẹ́ wọn àwọn nìkan ló wà láyé. Táwọn nìkan ni wọ́n mọ̀ sí. A ṣe ní mọ́ aláwọ̀ wọn kan máa sọ̀rọ̀ fún wa. Wọ́n ba ayé jẹ́ tán. Ọmọ ọdún mélòó lọ bá sọjọ́? Ọdún mélòó ló kù tó máa rìn láyé? Ẹ wá fẹ́ kó sọ̀rọ̀ fún ọmọ 5 years tí ò tí ì mọ ayé kankan. Ẹ fẹ́ kó sọ̀rọ̀ fún ọmọ tí wọn ò tí ì jí nínú ayé kó tún ba ayé tiẹ̀ náà jẹ́. Àwa làjú alẹ̀ kí tábìlì kò wọ̀. Ṣé ní kò sí kan tí ẹ lè ṣe ní Nàìjíríà tó lè mú ògùn Yorùbá padà? Mi ì tí ì rí irú nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ lè ṣe tó lè dá wa padà níbi tá a ti pọ̀. Gbogbo tó pariwo léyìí ìtọ́sọ́nà ni anything ni wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe pé wọ́n fẹ́ ṣàwọn ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá kò sí kan tá a lè ṣe tá a sì wà nínú Nàìjíríà ó lè mú wa padà láti dàbí ìgbà fẹ́ kọ́ Yorùbá lọ mọ̀ kan. Kò sí eye ìbò tẹ́ ẹ lè dì kò iye ẹlẹ́sìn tó lè ṣe kò sí iye aláàbò tó lè wá láti wà ní Nàìjíríà tó lè túlẹ̀ nípa ṣe. Àwọn tá a rí tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ lé wọ́n fẹ́ fi àwọn wà rẹ̀ ní pàǹtí. Ìjẹ́ wà ń dé ẹ̀yìn ẹ̀ mọ́tàlá ṣe ń lè ní ẹ̀yìn ẹ̀kún kú lẹ́sẹ̀. Ẹ mọ̀ kan tó ń ṣe yín ẹ̀dẹ̀ mọ́ tẹ̀sí lè gbára yín. Ṣé bá dúró ti àwọn tó wà níta? Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ tó wọ́n ń sọ. Owó tí wọ́n ń rí níta wọ́n fi wá sí tí wọ́n ń lò níbi ẹ̀rù. Bá mi ṣe bá mi ṣàwọn. Ẹ mọ̀ pé wọ́n lọ́pọlọ jù. Orí ọ̀fẹ́ làwọn náà. Lẹ́yìn náà bá rí orí ọ̀fẹ́ láti wá síta. Ọpọlọ yìí máa ṣe. Àlẹ́ pẹ́ yìí fún ẹ̀yin àbáyé jẹ́ àti ìmọ̀tara ẹni kan kódà ẹwà níta ẹ̀ sọ́pọ́tì movement yìí. Mo fẹ́ kí ẹ rántí kan yìí. Kò sí ohun tó wù tẹ̀lé kó jọ ní owó ni, ní dúkìá ni, tó kó jọ níta, tó wá sọ pé òun kò wá sí Nàìjíríà. Ó fẹ́ fi ṣe nǹkan. Sórí ọjọ́ tó bá ti nísìn tó o bá ti sọ́pọ́tì Yorùbá, ọjọ́ tó bá ti kó owó yẹn jọ tó wá fẹ́ wá sí Nàìjíríà tí o bá ka ẹ̀gbọ́n kí ló fẹ́ ṣe. Tó wà ní outside tó sọ́pọ́tì kí Yorùbá lè sọ dúró pẹ̀lú iṣẹ́ tó ti ṣe pẹ̀lú gbogbo nǹkan tó ti gbọ́dọ̀ fún àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ wá wá sí Nàìjíríà kí wá ka ẹ̀gbọ́n. Ó lè má jẹ́ kó Nàìjíríà ó lè jẹ́ kó ọ̀gbọ́n ọ̀gbọ́n. Ìwọ náà wo ló sí ibo ló fẹ́ kójú àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ wà. Mo torí àjò mo fẹ́ ba ìdí jẹ́. Tí o mọ̀ pé bàbá kò lájò kẹ́kẹ́ lábá padà sí. Kò sí tó dàbí lè. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká ṣe ìlara. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká fi òótọ́ lẹ̀ ká máa wá wá wí. Àwa wí bí ká máa rí gbogbo nǹkan tó wà láàárín gbogbo àwọn tó ń jà fún wa tó ń gbójú wọn síta. Àwa wí bí gbogbo yẹn. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́rọ̀ ẹ̀dùn wọn. Kò sẹ́ni tó mọ̀ ọ́ ṣe tán. Ọlọ́run kan ló bá tó mọ́. Kò sẹ́ni tí ò láṣìṣe. Ẹ má wo àṣìṣe wọn. Ìyá máa sọ pé torí ẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀bí sọ́pọ́ọ̀tì rárá. Ẹ wo ọ̀rọ̀ ẹnu wọn. Ẹ wo nǹkan tí wọ́n ń jà fún. Òtítọ́ tí wọ́n sọ bẹ̀ kẹ́ o. Tẹ bá ti di òtítọ́ yìí, tẹ bá ti gbà sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́. Ẹ ti bí ẹ̀mí náà. Òtítọ́ tó wà bẹ̀ àwa ṣe dúró níbẹ̀. Ìran wa ló ń jà fún. Kì í ṣe pásítọ̀tì àwọn ara wọn. Tẹ máa ń jà kó kàn yín. Wọ́n mọ̀ ká iṣẹ́ tó lára ara wọn. Ó tẹ́ ẹ̀yìn máa gbọ́ ni pé báwo ni ìran wa kí nìkan tí wí èmi ìwọ ta lè kópa tí ìran wa fi lè kọ́. Kì í ṣe ìjà tó ń jà ló kàn ìwọ. Ìjà tó ń jà ló fẹ́ tó wa nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Àbí kí ìwọ lọ́wọ́ sí kẹ́mi lọ́wọ́ sí. Ìfẹ́ lówó tó rìn. Kó o pẹ̀jọ́ tó lọ́ máa fẹ́ lù ẹ̀ pa, á lù ẹ̀ pa. Kó o jà fún rẹ̀. Orúkọ ẹ̀ máa wà lọ́wọ́. Mo fẹ́ mo kọ̀. Òjijì ló kó o sọ̀rọ̀ káyé ní ẹ. Ẹ̀mí ni Ọlọ́run ní ẹ̀mí wa lónìí. Ẹ̀mí. Tí ò bá jèrè ní àwọn ọmọ tó bá bí àwọn ọmọ tó pẹ̀ wá jèrè. Kí la fi sọ̀rọ̀ bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ ni? Báwo ló jà fún Nàìjíríà? Tí wọ́n bá jà fún kí àwọn olórí burúkú tí wọ́n lu ayé tán ẹni pé wọ́n ẹ̀wù ò ní lọ mọ́. Ìṣòwò lè láyé yẹn. Wọ́n wá lórí ipò wọ́n gbà pé kò sẹ́dá kan tó wáyé jù lọ. Àwọn ayé máa lò sí o. Mo wà lórí ipò títí wá kó ń bẹ lọ́jọ́ kan náà. Tó bá lò dáadáa, àyà sọ̀rọ̀. tó bá ń lò aṣọ. Àwọn tí wọ́n ti lò ní dáadáa à ń sọ̀rọ̀ wọlé. Àwọn tó lè bá dé náà àwọn ló ti wà. Ọ̀lójú ẹ̀mí wọn ògo Yorùbá máa jáde. Ẹni tó bá wá ní kò ní jáde wọ́n á kú ògo Yorùbá lè máa jáde. Láti wọ́n èyí ni wọn. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká wo nígbésí tí àwọn tó lò ń gbé dìde fún wa. Bí wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀, wọ́n jẹ́ ojúlówó ọmọ Yorùbá fún wa, agbẹnusọ fún wa. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká wo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ láàrin wọn. Ká máa sọ pé ní ká sí. Kò kàn wọ́n tá a gbá mú ẹ̀jẹ̀ ká gbá mú. Yorùbá nation no going back. Ohun tó bá wù ká mú. Kò sí ìrọ̀lẹ́ tí mo fẹ́ gbé. Kò ní Amẹ́ríkà sí. Ọjọ́ bá pé bá bí àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ tó máa dìde níbẹ̀ pé wọ́n fẹ́ jẹ̀rẹ̀ kan wọ́n á wá bí wọ́n ti wá jáde. Kò sí ìrọ̀lẹ́ fẹ́ jẹ́ wọ́n á sọ bí wọ́n ti wá jáde. Yorùbá ẹ̀jẹ̀ ká rẹ̀ bíta ti wọ̀.
Ẹ ṣe wọ́n sá. Mo kí bàbá wa ṣe rí mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ akéde ó ní fídíò kan tí mo ṣẹ̀rí ní sí máa pè é padà Mr. Abiodun mo fẹ́ ká jọ wo fídíò yìí kò ń ṣe lénìí lẹ́yìn a máa rí round fídíò báyìí àmọ́ gbogbo ìgbà náà ni a ṣe ń bọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀yin ti Island tí ẹ̀ ń sọ fún wa pé ìjà wo ni wọ́n ń jà fún kí ni Ìgbòho ń jà fún gan ta ló bẹ̀ ń ṣẹ́ àmọ́ èyí ti gba Irish passport àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ ó dùn mọ́ yín lọ́wọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ti gbàgbé pé àwọn kan ló jàjà yẹn ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ wo fídíò yìí.
How did I pass your car? How did I pass your car? How did I pass your car? Oh, God. Jesus, oh. Jesus. Oh, no, Jesus. Oh. I'm feeling fine. He's not feeling fine. He's not feeling fine. That's why he's dragging. My face will come down. Jesus. Jesus. What can you see what they did to my eye? Are you seeing? Jesus! Bring this one. Why are you coming? Give me this one.
You can see that what a gba phone here. They want to take that phone because that is an evidence. So, ìwọ tí o ní ọ̀fẹ́ Yorùbá nation, I pray pé tó bá lọlé ní December, ní tí military máa ṣe fún ẹ nìyẹn. I pray pé tó bá lọ sílé àtàwọn ọmọ ẹ, they will be able to attack you and you will go back to Ireland. Orí àwa pé, I will come back to that. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n pe brother mi tó pè tán lẹ́ẹ̀kan, mo kí Aziz, mo kí ìyàwó Fatuse Elizabeth. Wọ́n ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn tó wà lọ́hùn-ún ìyẹn ní diaspora ní UK kò fẹ́ kí àwa tí a wà nílé bọ́ Ọlọ́run ló lè kó wa yọ. But Ọlọ́run ò ní wá, àwa la máa. We didn't see the video. Rí video kẹ̀. We saw the beginning of the video now. We saw how they wanted to hijack the phone. Bèbí yẹn ju phone sínú ilé ni. Ó jù padà sínú mọ́tò. Ó jù sínú mọ́tò so that kó má bàa gbà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. Let's watch the video one more time. The only time you will see images is at the beginning. But they went dark. That means that kó má bàa gbà phone yẹn, ó jù sínú mọ́tò, ó tilẹ̀kùn mọ́tò. That is exactly what happened. And they can kill them like that. That is the country that many of us want to live in. Oppression, intimidation. And I will sit here and I will say, Ama Ajani, Anikoiki, shut up. How do you want me to live in that country? That is the video. Video not here. The video is already circulating on this. It just came out just few seconds ago. Bí akéde ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ ni mo rí lórí Twitter. Rufai ti gbé, a lot of people ti gbé. Èmi náà ti pick ẹ̀. Kódà mo ti send ẹ̀ sí Olóyè Ìgbòho nísìn. Pé ẹ̀rí nǹkan tá à ń sọ chief mi. Mo ṣe send ẹ̀ sí chief ni. Ẹ̀ tẹ̀tí reply. Mo ti send ẹ̀ sí chief. So ìyẹn mo ṣe ń sọ fáwọn èèyàn wa pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ̀gbọ́n mi triple dr ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní diaspora tẹ́ ń sọ pé ìtorí pé àwa Yorùbá nation bára wa jà and that's the reason why tẹ́ ṣe pé Yorùbá country. I pity you. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wo fídíò ẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Ẹ má bínú pé kò sí audio máa jáde nínú ẹ̀ nísìn. Ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ wò lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Ẹ jẹ́ mute mic mi. Mo kí Pastor Mo, mo kí Just Reason, mo kí Oladeji Michael. Whether they like it or not, Nigeria will soon tear to pieces. Ṣẹ̀rí àwọn tí wọ́n support the movement yìí, irú àwọn ilé ìbáyìí nísìn, they would have no option than to carry weapons. Ṣẹ̀rí wọ́n rò pé àwa Yorùbá nation la máa gbé weapon jáde. Nigerians will fight back. And I pray it happen today and I pray it happen tonight. But they are not fighting back yet because they are still having sympathy with Nigeria. And they see people like us as, you know, Mr. Abiodun mo ti gbàgbé mo ní mo máa pè yín mo tún ti gbàgbé má bínú bàbá ti wà lórí ètò báyìí máa pè yín nísìn so bọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ wo fídíò yẹn after ti call bá ti ṣe tán àwo fídíò yẹn again hello caller ẹ ti wà lórí ètò sà. Mo kí yẹn kásán sá o. Ètò nìyẹn ọ̀dọ̀ sísítà mi gan mo ti kọ́kọ́ rí fídíò yẹn gan sẹ́ẹ̀. Akíkanjú ọ̀dọ̀ ẹ̀ mo ti rí ẹyẹ bá gbóhùn sókè à ń gbọ́ ní sà. Àmì Jésù Kristi. Ẹ ṣe gan ni. À á play video ẹ̀ but audio ní jáde torí ẹni tó wà lórí call. À ń gbọ́ yín sí ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ. Ẹ ṣe gan ni sà. Kódà. Okay, I'm going sir. Ṣé local government election ẹ̀ ń sọ yẹn èyí tí Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún criminal tó ṣe criminal I'm going sir. Okay. Okay. Wọn náà wọn mọjọ́ táwọn èèyàn wá fẹ́ gbọ́n àwọn èèyàn wá padà gbọ́n náà ni bọ́fẹ́ bọ́kọ̀ wá padà gbọ́n náà ni so ìkànnì méjèèjì ẹ ṣé gan ni sir ẹ ṣé gan ni thanks for the call ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ sọ́dọ̀ Mr. Biodun àti wo fídíò again lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí kò sí point ká máa play ẹ jẹ́ èèyàn kan náà ti pè ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ́ lọ gba Mr. Biodun tó pè tí mo ní kọ́jọ kọ́ má bínú pé kọjá ká kéde sọ̀rọ̀ torí network àwọn tó wà ní Áfíríkà nígbà míì ó máa ń play phone. Mo kí ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa, like I said, we will run the next 1 hour. So program yìí máa tán ní around 2 o'clock or before that. Mr. Biodun mo ti ń pè yín padà. Tí ẹ bá ṣì wà lórí line mú wọn pé gbogbo àná la bí ṣèbí ẹnu ṣẹlẹ̀ sáré jáde lẹ fi pè mí ni. All right, I will leave you. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ sọ́dọ̀ brother wa, bàbá wa, uncle wa, bàbá wa Michael. Àwọn náà ní nǹkan tó fi bá mi dá sí lórí eléyìí tá à ń bá lọ láàárọ̀ yìí. Mo sì fẹ́ máa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn Irish, but mo fẹ́ jẹ́ ká clear table mi pẹ̀lú àwọn calls tó ń wọlé ká tó lè máa padà síbẹ̀. Ẹni tó bá ní kò kàn wọn, no problem. Kò kàn ẹ́ tó bá yá gbogbo wa náà ló máa kàn. Kí nǹkan burúkú kó má kàn wá, òun náà la ṣe ń pariwo Yorùbá nation. Yakubu mo kí ẹ o, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa, mo kí gbogbo àyìn tí ẹ wà lórí ìkànnì náà. Ẹ má ẹ̀kú sú, ẹ má ẹ̀kú rẹwà, and ẹ má ẹ̀kú àwà intimidated by many of these atrocities that is playing out in the lives of millions of Yoruba people ní wákàtí. Ẹ bá wa gbọ́ wọlé share button lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Now ẹ jẹ́ kí n sáré lọ sí Irish War of Independence. Bọ̀ká tó sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí, ẹ jẹ́ ká wo fídíò. A lo fídíò yẹn láàárọ̀ yìí. Ẹ jẹ́ n lọ mú fídíò yẹn wá so ká lè rí fídíò yẹn gbọ́. Torí pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn tí wọ́n were against the Yoruba nation struggle, what I don't understand is that you also are enjoying something that people fought for, people died for, but right now you don't want to be involved because you are selfish. Ẹ̀yin ti ní passport, ẹ ní láti lọ apply for visa láti Nigeria travel mọ́. So because of that reason, just reasoning, now with the ease availability of mobile phone, it is high time we enlighten Nigerians to record eventualities like this. One record the ṣe ní kó fẹ́ gba fóònù yẹn. One record náà la ṣe rí. Even if it was the 11 seconds we saw, they recorded it. But you can tell that the military also knew that they were recording, and that is the reason why they attacked them. And this is what is going on frequently in Nigeria. Mo lo video yẹn látorí YouTube. Okay, I'm going to do it this way. Àbọ̀rọ̀ mọ̀ yẹn nísìn, wọ́n recorded náà ni. Tó o bá recorded, ní rí. It was because of the recording, that is why we saw it now. So, èyí tí ẹ sọ pé Republic of Ireland, I want us to watch this. How Ireland became bitterly divided. Ìyẹn kọ́ la fẹ́ wò. Mo lò kan láàárọ̀ mo like yẹn. Why Ireland split into the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland. Ireland and Irish joining the Union, the Irish War of Independence. What did the Republic of Ireland do during the Troubles? Ireland road to independence. Okay, maybe I can go ilé.
In this video,
ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ ilé. Torí pé ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní diaspora, tẹ́ dẹ̀ wà learned, tẹ́ kàwé díẹ̀. Mr. Ọlọ́run iwájú ní gbogbo ẹ máa burst very soon. Ó ń rú gbogbo ni. Ẹ̀yin tí ẹ kàwé, tí Ọlọ́run fún ní ààyè pé kẹ́ kà. Ẹ̀yin lẹ wá wà against the movement because of your own selfishness. Because ẹ̀yin ò fẹ́ kí ẹlòmíì gbádùn. Ẹ̀yin náà wà lára àwọn tó fẹ́ lọ Nàìjíríà. Tẹ́ fẹ́ bá àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké sùn, tẹ́ máa fún wọn ní 20,000 naira. Tẹ́ máa sáré gbé wọn wọnú hòtẹ́ẹ̀lì kan, tẹ́ máa gbà sí fún wọn. Even though àwọn ọmọ yín age mate wọn ní Republic of Ireland. And I'm not mentioning the Republic of Ireland. I'm talking to those of you in Canada, in America. Tẹ́ ẹ bá tẹ́ support wa, support wa pẹ̀lú àdúrà, support wa pẹ̀lú owó. Ẹ má tún wá máa fi àbùkù kan tá à ń ṣe kò dáa rárá. Òun ló worst jù, kò dáa rárá. Tí ìgbà tẹni tó wà ní Amẹ́ríkà tó ń sọ fún wa pé Yorùbá nation wọn ló ń ṣe yẹn. Ẹ sọ fún wọn kó lọ jókòó síbi kan jàre. But ìwọ ọmọ bó ṣe dé Amẹ́ríkà náà, ọmọ àlọ́hùn tó fi gbàwé. Ìkà mà ní Yorùbá yìí o. Ìkà ni yín. Mo ò dẹ̀ fẹ́ ṣépè, mo ń try láti restrict. Ó yẹ kí n bu èpè gidi fún gbogbo yín ni. But mo ò fẹ́ fún yín ní èpè. But ìkà ni yín. Ìkà ènìyàn ni yín. Ẹ bá mi gbóhùn sókè dáadé mi. Ìkà ènìyàn ni yín.
Torí gbogbo àwọn yẹn wọn ò gbọ́n ni.
Mo ń gbọ́ sà.
Wọ́n bá gbọ́ wọn ní máa ṣe gbogbo ìsọkúsọ yẹn. Nǹkan tó ń bọ̀ ń sìn ojú wọn ò tí ì rí ni ọtí tó bá ṣẹlẹ̀. Ó mọ̀ pé nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní 1966 nígbà tó operation wẹ́ẹ̀tì
operation
ìdúlé tó ń pààyàn. Nǹkan tó fẹ́ rú gbúbọ̀ nìyẹn. Ọba gan aṣá kúrò náà fìn. Wọn ò tí ì mọ nǹkan tó ń bọ̀. Jáde wọ́n lẹ̀ ká máa wo ibi tí ó ń lọ. 1966 nǹkan tó ń bọ̀ lóhùn nǹkan tó rú gbúbọ̀ gangan òun ló ń bọ̀ yẹn.
Ó mà ṣe o, ẹ ṣe gan ni sà.
Má sọ̀rọ̀ ń pa àwọn tó rí wọn ò pé yẹn.
Ẹ ṣe gan ni pé mi.
Má bá wọn sọ anything. Àti Ọbásanjọ́ àti gbogbo wọn ó máa rúgbó dọ̀dọ̀ wọn. Ẹ ṣáà fi wọ́n lẹ̀.
Ẹ ṣe gan ni sà. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti rìtáyà tẹ́ wà nù ilé tó yẹ kẹ́ ti padà sílé. Mo kí bàbá mi Benjamin Adumati, mo ní mò ń bọ̀ wá kí yín láìpẹ́ láì jìnnà. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá kọ invitation letter náà ni mo máa dọ́dọ̀ yín. Torí kò ń ṣe gbogbo ala ní British passport. But n tí mò ń sọ láàárọ̀ yìí ni pé báwo lẹni tó wà ní diaspora òkè ẹ fẹ́ Nàìjíríà pé ẹ má tako táwa tún gbé dání náà. Tẹ bá ní APC lẹ́ ń ṣe àbá yín jà. Ẹ ní right láti máa ṣèjọba lọ but àwa náà ní right láti béèrè fẹ́tọ̀ wa níta ń sọ nìyẹn. Má ṣe o kódà I'm trying just to make my mo fẹ́ kẹ́ emotion mi kó override tí mo fi sọ. Ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ wo bí Ireland tó ń pè ní Republic of Ireland ẹ jẹ́ ká tẹ̀ wo báwo ló ṣe gain independent wọn. Bọ̀ mo fẹ́ ká kọ́kọ́ gbọ́ fídíò yẹn ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ máa mute mic yẹn.
Events that took place on the road to Irish independence. I'm going to explain the Irish for these important historical moments, and along the way you're going to learn some Irish, but you're also going to learn a little bit about Star na Héireann, the history of Ireland. Star na Héireann. So let's start with the 1801 Act of Union. Before 1801, the United Kingdom just consisted of England, Scotland and Wales. But due to a series of violent rebellions that took place in Ireland in the 1700s, most notably the 1798 rebellion, the British wanted to bring Ireland under more control, and they thought that by making Ireland an integral part of the United Kingdom, they would achieve this. So from 1801, the country became known as the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland. The Irish for the Act of Union is Acht an Aontais, Acht an Aontais, and Aontais on its own means union, Aontais. Faoi smacht means under control, Faoi smacht. Next, let's look at the Great Famine. The Great Famine took place in Ireland from 1845 to 1850. This was caused by a fungus known as blight affecting the potato crop. The fungus in Irish is sometimes referred to as dove, which is the Irish for black, dove, because that's what happened. It made the potatoes go black. Over 1 million people died of starvation and disease, and a further million emigrated during this time. And many were forced to emigrate on coffin ships, as they were called. President Joe Biden made reference to this quite recently.
When my great-grandfather got in a coffin ship in the Irish Sea, the expectation was he going to live long enough on that ship to get to the United States of America. But they left because of what the Brits had been doing. They were in real trouble. They didn't want to leave, but they had no choice.
The Irish for the Great Famine is An Gorta Mór, An Gorta Mór, which literally means the great hurt or the huge hurt. It's also known as Druchail as well, Druchail, which means the bad life or the tragic life, An Druchail. The Irish for a famine ship is Long ó Hreimhse an Gorta. That literally means a ship from the times of hurt. Long ó Hreimhse an Gorta. Harla Imerke Olvor an Uair sin. A huge amount of emigration occurred at that time. Harle, Immerke, Olvor, on Orshin. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, Irish people began to seek home rule. Home rule basically means self-government.
Torí mi kọ́ mo ní fídíò yẹn, so mo fẹ́ kọ́ ṣe àlàyé díẹ̀díẹ̀ lé lórí. A ti gbọ́ nípa ìtàn yẹn díẹ̀, we've listened to a bit of it, and now it's getting to where Irish people now wants to be self-government, just like the Yoruba are counting for self-government today. Yes, we have run regional government, we have run military government, we have running democracy, but we also have the right to have a full autonomous independent country. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́tí ṣetán ní abroad àtẹ̀yin tẹ́tí ṣetán ní Nàìjíríà ẹ jẹ́ pensioner tó yẹ kẹ́ ti máa gbowó nílé gbowó sanwó fún yín, but àwọn colleagues yín tí wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ ní abroad bí àtọ̀dọ̀ àwọn opportunity láti exit bí 30-40 years ago wọ́n ń gba pension wọn. So eléyìí táwa náà ń pètò fún nísìnyí, mo kí àmì Bukola Ahmed, mo kí bàbá mi lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí Benjamin Adumati. Wàrí Jìnàdù ní ó ga o, Northern Ireland and Ireland are two Irish separate countries with two separate governments, two different currency. Owó Belfast lélẹ́yìí, mo sọ fún yín, mo kí Ìyábọ̀bọ̀ àti Yetunde's Kitchen, mo kí Olúṣesí, mo kí Mr. Kúnlé, mo máa kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ bá wa ṣe gbogbo ayẹyẹ tí a wá ṣe ní Belfast. Níbi tí a ti land ní airport èmi àti olóyè Ìgbòho àti Comrade Ṣọlá kò gbọdọ̀ pa àtìyàwó wọn. Owó yẹn lélẹ̀, owó tí mo gbà lọ́wọ́ wọn lélẹ̀, kò ṣe wọ́n fún mi o, mo ní kó change ẹ̀ fún mi ni. This is their own pound sterling, Oyster Bank. So èyí tẹ́ ẹ̀ sọ pé àfẹ́ rúbà tó bá dọjọ́ iwájú gbogbo rúbà yẹn náà ló sì máa di part of a private investment. Tolúkálukú máa wá nídà ó fẹ́ ṣe sí o, ò ṣe sí o, but just for you to secure your money lọ́ṣẹ́ ní kẹ́ lè máa fi síbẹ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀, àní kẹ́ mú gbogbo owó yín kúrò nínú náírà. So báwo lọmọ Yorùbá ṣe wá jókòó síta tí a dẹ̀ ń sọ fún yín pé okay, báwo lè ṣe gba Irish passport? Ṣe history Irish rárá ni. Torí mo mọ̀ pé ní UK kó tó gba passport wọ́n máa ní kó lọ kọ́ nípa history wọn. But nípa history tẹ́ kọ́ yẹn ẹ ti gbàgbé. Ẹ̀yin aláìda, ẹ̀yin ìkà, wicked people. Ṣáta ṣèbọ̀ owó tó ń gbà lórí social media ni, tí bá wá ń gbowó lórí social media ńkọ́? At least mò ń jà fún kankan. Mò ń jà fún kankan náà. So àwọn tó ń support wa, wọ́n rí i pé ìtagbédání ni. Ṣé ká ló yàtọ̀ èmi ò àwọn kan san gbowó lọ́wọ́ àwọn èèyàn nígbà tó ń ṣe APC. Táwọn tó tẹ̀ ṣe APC ká tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ Yorùbá Nation. Gbogbo owó tán dáadáa result wo ló mú jáde ní Nàìjíríà? Why are we people like this? Báwo la ṣe jẹ́ tara wa nìkan là ń mọ̀? Torí ẹ̀yin wà comfortable, àwọn ọmọ yín wà ní school nísìn. So tí wọ́n bá pelé nísìn, àwọn máa gbọ́ sáàdà àwọn kéékèèké tó ń ta wóróbo kiri tó fi ń tọwọ́ bọ̀ wọ́n nídìí. Tẹ́lómi ò mọ ẹni tó lóyún fún. Ẹ fẹ́ system tó ṣiṣẹ́, system tá máa intimidate ara wa. Ṣé ní Ireland tẹ́yìn wá yẹn, ṣé sójà náà yìí? Ṣé sójà máa hijack mọ́tò mọ́ yín lára? A mọ̀ pé racism ṣì wà, but wọ́n sì fún wa ní value and respect of dignity. A dẹ̀ ń tẹ̀lé ọ̀rọ̀ tí arákùnrin yìí sọ nípa ìtàn àwọn Ireland. À ń follow in tó ń sọ pé nígbà tó dé stage kan àwọn náà fẹ́ dá dúró, ìyẹn ló fẹ́ gbẹnulé nísìn pé àwọn náà fẹ́ gba self-government wọn. Kò síjà nínú ẹ̀ náà. Kí lẹ sọ sà bàbá mi Bòbóyè? Wọ́n ní Yorùbá must exit Nigeria either they like it or not. So ẹ̀yin kan wà níbi kan tẹ́ ṣe ń sọ pé Yorùbá nation kan ń ṣe yẹn. Ẹ̀yin náà I'm not talking to àwọn tó wà Nàìjíríà. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lábọ̀dì mò ń bá sọ̀rọ̀. How I mean yes a lè má agree on that same part but ẹ má disagree pẹ̀lú wa pé n tá à ń ṣe yẹn ó wrong. Kí lẹ ní ipò wrong? Ìlú tẹ́ wà yìí nísìn àwọn kan ló dúró fún náà. Even this UK gan tó ń sọ yìí. But why are we like this? Ìjọba ta ló mo kẹ́ in silent listener. Ẹ bá wa dá sọ̀rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀ yìí torí pé tó bá ti dago méjì kó má yẹ pé gbà títí máa lọ lẹ́ máa wá máa pè mú nígbà fún wọn àdẹ̀ ní gbé kọ́ọ̀lù yìí gbà lẹ́ máa ní Kóìkì àpè òwe wọlé ẹ̀dẹ̀ bá ṣe ní kíákíá torí àti wà very press of time mo ti sọ̀rọ̀ ti Ireland yẹn tán ẹ bá mute background ẹ Mr. Frank ẹ ń ṣàlejò tẹ bá ti gbé kọ́ọ̀lù yẹn bá mute torí ara ti fẹ́ máa pọn mí báyìí but mo ń restrict nítorí pé ó yẹ kí n ṣépè fún gbogbo ẹni diaspora lórí burúkú yẹn ni ìkànnì yìí náà ìkànnì yìí ìwọ ti ní passport Ireland so ó fẹ́ káwa náà ní Yorùbá passport ó fẹ́ kẹ́lòmíì jẹ́ Wicked people. Mo fẹ́ ṣe pé ẹgbẹ́ òsókè ní kíákíá brother mi ara ń kan nínú ọ̀la.
Èyí tẹ́ sọ yẹn náà ọ̀gbọ́dọ̀ á jẹ́ pé kí wọ́n dọ́kun padà. Wípé mi ò mọ béèyàn ṣe fẹ́ tó jẹ́ pé èèyàn máa wà sí ayé tó máa ní ogún bàbá oníbàbà.
Mo kí mo sí mẹ́ka bọ̀ mọ́.
Fẹ́ kú sí. Tó jẹ́ pé nǹkan ní nǹkan ló fẹ́ kú sí. Tó jẹ́ pé nǹkan tó jẹ́ ti tiwọn gbogbogbò tó jẹ́ ti àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tó fi ń wà. Ṣé tọ́ka sọ wípé wọ́n da wọ́n sọ wípé kì èyí náà gbọ́ sí i. Wọ́n ń pariwo pé tẹ́lá Nàìjíríà gba fẹ́ ṣe gbá fẹ́ ṣàwọn fẹ́ ṣe gbá fẹ́ ṣàwọn. Kí ló ń jẹ́ Nàìjíríà? Bí wọ́n sọ nǹkan tó jẹ́ Nàìjíríà fún wa. Ní Fúlàní dúró ṣe kí Yorùbá dúró káwúsá dúró kí Ìgbò dúró. A lè kọ́ èdè ara wa ó ti ní gbogbo wa síra wa àwa òbí wa ń gbé papọ̀. Báwo la ṣe fẹ́ make progress nígbà tó ti gbà tó ti tí wọ́n jọ ń gbé papọ̀? Tó bá tẹ̀ tó jẹ́ pé odi ni wọ́n ní sáìnì máa fi ṣe ọwọ́. Eléyìí in fact wọ́n stable instability òun ni gbogbo wa. Gbogbo apátápátá bẹ́ẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà yẹn a ní disability. A ní disability. Wọ́n pé a lè gbéjì ara wa yé. A lè dá ṣe nǹkan fúnra wa. Wọ́n ẹ̀bù wa ṣe nǹkan ni. A lè ṣe nǹkan kan fúnra wa. Ó kọ̀ dàbí máa wà lifeless ní lọ́rọ̀ Nàìjíríà. Wọ́n la fẹ́ kú sínú ẹ̀. La fẹ́ kú sínú ẹ̀. Kí ló wà nù Nàìjíríà tí Yorùbá ṣe ìlú? Ìjàpọ̀ ìdí àwọn ọmọ Yíbò fẹ́ gbára wọn lé. Wọ́n tó ju èmi lọ́kàn mi. Àwọn ọmọ Yíbò fẹ́ gbára wọn lé. Ǹjẹ́ ni ẹ̀yin rí ìtọ́nú àwọn tó jẹ́ wípé olórí ilẹ̀ Yíbò tó jẹ́ Ọ̀hánèsè tí wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ láti bí ọdún méjì.
Mo kí bàbá Lẹ́kìtì ẹ má bínú mo ṣe ń rí yín ní sà. Mo kí àwa ẹ má bínú brother mi. Mo kí bàbá Lẹ́kìtì. Mo kí yín dáadáa sà. Màá send fídíò yẹn sí yín nísìnyí.
Àwọn àgbààgbà Yorùbá àwọn ìṣòro táwa nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Àwọn àgbààgbà Yorùbá àwọn ìṣòro táwa nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Nítorí pé bá ṣe ń fà á bẹ́ẹ̀ bá bàbá yìí já wálé. Bá ṣe ń gbé sókè bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ń já wálé. Orí pé kí ni ẹ jọ kí ló kọ láìfù fámìlì point pẹ̀lú fámìlì ìdílé. Báwo ni àwa méjèèjì ṣe sọ wípé a ti fẹ́ gba millions of Yorùbá lè? Àwa ní pé fámìlì Tinubu tó jẹ́ ẹyọ kan a máa fa ọ̀tá wa wálé nítorí selfish interest ti wọn. Nítorí pé wọ́n ń dárò inú ẹbí wọn nìkan wọn ò nínú ẹbí Yorùbá. Wọ́n wò wá bí ẹni pé àmọ́ nǹkan tá à ń ṣe. Èyí tó tún wá dùn níjú òun ni pé àwọn tó wá wà ní ìta wọ́n wà ní ìta tó jẹ́ pé a wà ní diaspora kò yẹ kó sí èèyàn kan báyìí tó máa wà yìí kí pé tí Yorùbá ní òmìnira tí Yorùbá dá dúró ẹ wá ẹ̀yàn ìta wọ̀ báyìí wọ́n wà lára UK tẹ́lẹ̀ tí ló ń bà wá lẹ́rù ẹ̀rù ìṣe kúrò lára UK ẹ̀jọ̀ ṣáyé wọn gbà ṣe ṣáyé wọn ò ní jù wọ́n ní. Àbáyé wọn bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní dáàsì. Wọ́n ìjẹ́ kí wọ́n máa kírètì fear of unknown fún wa. Wọ́n ìjẹ́ kí kírètì fear of unknown. Wípé pé a lè dá dúró, wọ́n ìjẹ́ a lè dá dúró. Ṣé a kì í ṣe Yorùbá tó tún ti gbé Nàìjíríà? Ṣé a kì í ṣe? Ó ṣe jẹ́ pé pákílà jẹ, ṣé a tọrọ jẹnu? Ó jẹ́ bómi là ń mú gbàgbà ní Yorùbá, ṣé a tọrọ jẹnu? Irish yẹn potato làwọn bíbí yẹn fi survive life wọn under British rule. Wọ́n máa ń sọ màálí nǹkan táwọn Irish ṣe fúnra wọn òun láti máa ṣe ìgbẹ̀yìn ká tó tara wa. Wọ́n ní mo tún ń gbọ́ táwọn kan sọ wípé tí Igbo bá máa lọ ó máa lọ àwọn tó kú jẹ máa dúró sí Nàìjíríà. Wọ́n ń lo kí ní ẹ̀dọ́kọ̀ ní tiẹ̀ wá. Tí Igbo bá tiẹ̀ wá lọ lóòótọ́. Àwọn Yorùbá ò gbé gbèsè mọ́. Àwọn Fúlàní yìí wọ́n ti tira wọ́n lẹ̀. Ṣé wọ́n wá ní pé kí Yorùbá àti Fúlàní kọ́ máa ṣe Nàìjíríà lọ ní àdúrà? Bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní gbogbo ẹ̀. Wọ́n lè yàwó tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn, àwọn tájọ́ wà ń bèbà yìí.
jẹ́ pé wọ́n lọ bí iṣẹ́ wọ́n dé àwọn èèyàn ń pè wọ́n pé kọ́ fáwọn olówó wọ́n fẹ́ lòmí lòmú fún ní. ṣé èyí ò gbàdúrà àwọn jẹ́ ìfún lówó ni èyí ò fẹ́ káwọn ọ̀rọ̀ wọn kò ṣẹ èyí fẹ́ káwọn tí wọ́n gbé ìgbàjẹ́ rọ̀ nítorí pé ti wà bí ẹ̀yìn ṣe ẹ̀kọ́ tó wù ẹ̀yìn ṣe ẹ̀kọ́ tó wù ẹ̀yìn fẹ́ káwọn tó wà ń bẹ̀yẹ wọ́n ní ayé àti báwo. Is that not wickedness? Ẹ ṣe wà happiness báyìí. Báyìí tó fi jẹ́ pé ẹ fẹ́ máa fún yàn ní ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ kẹ́ni yẹn náà ní better life. Because tílẹ̀ rẹ̀ bàbá dá dúró. Tọ́wọ́ bá jẹ́ wọ́n ní wọ́n fún one river. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, táwọn èèyàn wa ò ní kéèkì ayé wọn. Táwọn ọ̀ní lè lọ bí ṣáfíì tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n lè wá ṣe wọ́n mú òtí ìlú ìwọ́n padà. Ó jẹ́ 90 days ni wọ́n lò wọ́n padà. Kò sí àwọn South Africa ò kì í travel jáde ìlú wọn. Àwọn South Africa ò kì í jáde. Wọ́n bá jáde wọ́n lọ sọ ní pé wọ́n lè padà. Wọ́n jáde wọ́n lọ sọ pé wọ́n padà.
Ẹ ṣe gan bàbá wa torí àsìkò
mi. Láwọn ọ̀rẹ́ tó jẹ́ pé South Africa ni wọ́n ájọ sign contract ni nígbà tá a ṣe play ball. Wọ́n sign contract nígbà tó máa di pé contract wọn bóyá ní 3 months ní nígbà fífọ́ wọ́n láwọn ń padà lọ sí South Africa jáde. Wọ́n bá sí Europe wá play football wọ́n láwọn ń padà lọ sí South Africa. Nígbà wọn lọ wá play Orlando Pirates àwọn wà ẹ̀ Sunderland àwọn Honda kìíní kan làwọn wà wọ́n padà lọ. Because ẹ bá wo wọ́n wà pẹ̀lú family wọn wà. Wọ́n ṣe wọ́n pé bóyá owó yẹn yóò pọ̀ tó èyí tó fún wọn bíbá yìí. Wọ́n ṣe wò pé àwọn nígbà gbogbo bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe máa ní ìwé láìsí yìí àwọn máa ní ìwé mẹ́ta pẹ̀lú owó yẹn nígbà àwọn. Ṣé owó àwọn
ẹ ṣe gan ni brọ́dà mi.
Ṣé wọ́n ní kí ẹ̀dùn diaspora?
Ẹ jẹ́ àfáwọn ẹlòmíràn láàyè ẹ ṣe gan mo kí brọ́dà mi kan dúdú. Mo fẹ́ òbí àmọ́ lè gẹ́ẹ̀tì bàbá wa lẹ́kìtì. Ẹni tó ń pè wá ẹ bá wa ṣe sùúrù ẹ jẹ́ káwọ́ bí a lè gẹ́ẹ̀tì bàbá lẹ́kìtì. Mo fẹ́ gbọ́ opinion wọn lórí àwọn diaspora àní àwọn diaspora tọ́lọ̀ bá kò ní bàjẹ́ fún bàbá yìí tí bá ṣe ń pè tí ò ń jẹ́ mi ọlọ́run bá ń jẹ́ ká rí pẹ́ bàbá mi torí ọkàn mi ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ṣé mọ̀ pé nígbà tí àní sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn lọ títí débi pé káwọn èèyàn máa pé akàn ẹ̀rọ nígbà tẹ pè nígbà yẹn ní ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ tẹ́ ní DSS ń bọ̀ wá gbé yín o ìmọ̀ntẹ́ bá gbé bàbá lẹ́kìtì ṣé mọ̀ pé ó ń kú mi kan rí fídíò yẹn àní sọ túmọ̀ torí káwọn èèyàn máa rò pa Ọlọ́run ti ní pé àwa kọ́ la máa jó bẹ́ẹ̀ tó àwa lá níbẹ̀. Ọ̀nkú mi yẹn wọ́n wá rí fídíò yẹn nínú gúrùpù wọn. Wọ́n wá ní ta ló àwọn tẹ̀ rò pé bàbá Èkìtì pé ta ló jẹ́ bàbá Èkìtì àwọn dẹ̀ mọ̀ mí through another person kan ni. Wọ́n wá wà worried gan pé wọ́n wá sáré pẹ́ nìyẹn pé fídíò táwọn rí ó bá àwọn lẹ́rù gan o. Ìyẹn wá ní kò dẹ̀ wá rí bẹ́ẹ̀ pé wọ́n kọ́ ti ibi tó dùn bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Ó ní kankan tó bá ọ̀rọ̀ dé bẹ́ẹ̀ olódà ṣe wá mọ̀ pọ́nkú mi yẹn wọ́n wá pé ẹni yẹn padà pé ọ wá padà lọ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí àwọn videos mi níta ti ṣe ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ tí mo sọ ibi 3 years ago ni ilé lọ́wà ọ̀gá ńlá gidi ni wọ́n ní MTN bọ̀ mo lè sọ fún yín pé kọ́ tó kú wọ́n sọ fún ẹni tí mo mọ̀ yẹn pé a gbọ́dọ̀ stop ní tá à ń ṣe yìí o ọmọ Èkìtì ni wọ́n ti jáde láyé kódà wọ́n fẹ́ róòkù wọ́n padà jáde ẹ mọ̀ pé Yorùbá ní nǹkan gan wọ́n sọ fáwọn èèyàn pé kọ́ máa róòkù wọn bìkọ́ wọ́n mọ̀ pé iṣẹ́ àwọn kan nínú ọ́fíìsì wọn lẹ́yìn tí ọ̀gá gidi ní bọ̀ wọ́n ní kọ́ sọ fún mi kọ́ tó kú yẹn pé pé tí mo gbé dání yẹn ká má stop o ká máa bá lọ ní o mo kàn fẹ́ kẹ́ lè rántí pé eléyìí tí mo wá fẹ́ mú jáde ẹni tí mo sọ yìí ó ní British passport bọ́nú Nàìjíríà ló ń gbé kódà nígbà tí ó lọ bá àwọn Tinubu nǹkan kákọ́sì wọn ní tó lè jẹyàn olóhùn lè jẹyàn tó bá lè jẹyàn tó bá lè ṣe kí ò lè join politics o ibẹ̀ kọ́ la fẹ́ lò bàbá lẹ́kìtì àwọn diaspora ní tí mo gbọ́ lè ní ó bà mí nú jẹ́ gan-an wọ́n ní àwọn kan wà ní kò ń ṣe island kan lọ́wọ́ but island ni wọ́n fi ṣe imac fún mi láàárọ̀ pé wọ́n ní ìjà tá à ń jà lórí social media táwọn tó máa gba country lélẹ̀ ibẹ̀ kọ́ la fẹ́ lò but n tó ń sọ ni pé wọ́n ní Yorùbá nation wọn làwọn fẹ́ Yorùbá nation wọn ló ń fẹ́ bàbá lẹ́kìtì báwo làwọn tó jẹ́ diaspora báwo la ṣe wá dé stage pé ẹ bá mi ṣàlàyé ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ó ti yé ibi tí mo fẹ́ mọ́rọ̀ lọ kí ló dé tí diaspora tó kúrò lẹ́kìtì logun state ní Ondo state ní Kwara state tó lọ hustle ní abroad dé yàtọ̀ sí abroad ṣẹ́rẹ́ abroad gangan ni pé kíyàn wà ní Europe torí yẹn ló ní sanity díẹ̀. Áfíríkà táwọn èèyàn wá ń lọ wọ́n kàn ṣe as an option ni ó sì better ẹni tó wà ní Libya lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ bungalow ẹni tó wà Nàìjíríà lọ but ẹni tó wà ní Europe ní UK ní Republic of Ireland ní Canada ní New Zealand tó ń ṣàwọn tí wọ́n ṣe dáadáa tó ń support wa o but àwọn tó wà against ẹ̀ bàbá lẹ́kìtì ẹ bá mi gbóhùn sókè.
Mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ojúlówó ọmọ Yorùbá lèmi máa ń kí o àwọn ọmọ gidi àwọn tó máa dáa fún tí wọ́n dúró pé kí àwọn ọmọ parun. Ṣe rí ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá pé ní ọ̀dọ̀ wa ń bíbà yìí a máa rí Ìbàdàn gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìlú òyìnbó gẹ́gẹ́ bí London wa àbí Èkó. Tá a bá wá rí ẹni tó jáde láti Èkìtì tó dèkó bóyá oṣù mẹ́fà ló lò bẹ́ẹ̀ tó padà dé tó wá ní àwọn ní àádékòdèrè tó gbàgbé ilé. Those people wọ́n ti dé lóyìnbó wọ́n ti gbàgbé orísun wọn ni. Tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ wo ọpọlọ wọn dáadáa tẹ́ bá wo ẹ̀jẹ̀ wọn ẹ̀jẹ̀ Fúlàní bẹ́ẹ̀ they are not real Yorùbá. Nígbà tí everybody mọ̀ pé Yorùbá ń bleed lọ́wọ́ pé the only way to survive ni pé kí ìyàn Yorùbá ká dá dúró. Ẹbí wọn léèrè ṣé tí ìlú bá dára ṣé wọn lọ tẹ̀dọ̀ sí Ireland Republic of Ireland. Mo sọ ní ìgbà kan rí second boy ìyá mi ẹ̀mẹ́rin ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ló win ní scholarship lọ sí Germany tó ló mú lọ táwọn bí ń bẹ̀. Ó ní kí ló wà Germany tí ò sí ilé nígbà tí iṣẹ́ wà tí eku ké bí eku tí ẹyẹ ké bí ẹyẹ tí ọmọ ènìyàn ń fọ̀ bí ọmọ ènìyàn. Ṣùgbọ́n lóde òní everybody want to japas. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ń ba ìlú jẹ́ ni. Wọ́n fẹ́ kí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ó di ahoro kí Fúlàní lè dé kó wà. So majority àwọn tó wà nílùú òyìnbó yẹn sà tẹ́ ẹ bá wádìí wọn okú ọmọ àlè náà fi bí wọn. Ẹ má dẹ̀ gbàgbé nínú ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá ni wọ́n ní ìwà ní máa ń sọ máa dẹrú. Ìwà náà lẹ́tí ló tún máa ń sọ ẹrú dọmọ. Ẹ bá wò wọ́n dáadáa wọn ní bíbí ire. Torí ẹni bá ní bíbí ire ohun tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá lénìí he will never support it. Ẹni bá ní bíbí ire bí ìran Yorùbá ṣe máa kúrò nínú ìgbèkùn ló máa wò. I have list in my house. Èyí àwọn ọmọ ológo tí Nàìjíríà ti pa. Ẹ̀ka lọ́sẹ̀ ìpalọ́ láìpẹ́ yìí lágbájá former chief of army staff. Ó ṣé ó dìgbà tó bá kàn wọ́n nìkan tó mọ̀ pé ewu ń bẹ lóko náà ní Nàìjíríà. So those people sà ẹ má jẹ́ ká wò wọ́n ẹ má jẹ́ ká rí títí wọ́n gbọ́ ẹlòmíì rọ́pò ó ti arrive ní tó wálé ayé ọwọ́ ti tó ṣùgbọ́n ìgbẹ̀yìn ló máa yí olóko àdá wọn sí. Ìkà ni wọ́n they are wicked. Irú àwọn yẹn lọ́wọ́ ṣe tí wọ́n máa sọ pé bámúbámú ni mo yóò mi ò mọ̀ pé bí ọmọ ẹnì kọ̀ọ̀kan. Irú wọn là ń pè pé mo ti gòkè odò lábárábá lè dákódá. Irú àwọn tó bá wà tó lórí ọ̀fẹ́ àti wà nílùú òyìnbó wọ́n máa ń sọ wípé ẹ wo ní ìkórìtà tá a wáyé o ẹ̀mí bí bá pamọ́ ẹnì kọ̀ọ̀kan kò kàn mí o. Irú wọn tó ti bùtọ́ ẹ ló wà ní aláàbí tó tọ̀sọ̀ kù sọ yẹn sà àwọn ló pọn mi tó tán rú omi. Ṣé gbọ́ mi sà?
Àgbọ̀yé.
Yàrá mi ní èrè Yorùbá torí ní ìkórìtà tá a wà yìí sà ẹni tó bá jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá gidi ò lè sọ wípé kí ìran Yorùbá ó sì dúró nínú Nàìjíríà. Bí mo ṣe bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ sà ní àná wọ́n sì kidnap èèyàn lákùrẹ́. Ní Àkúrẹ́. Fúlàní sì kidnap èèyàn ní Àkúrẹ́. Now kò sí ọ̀nà from one town to another town ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ń sì yìí tí ẹ bá ń travel tí mọ́tò yóò bá wà òkè ẹ̀yà má lọ. Ẹ gbẹ́dọ̀ wá mọ́tò bí ẹni tó rí ẹ ti fọ́ bí orí ẹ ti dàrú. Tẹ bá slow tẹ bá lẹ́ẹ̀fẹ́ ṣe fàájì lọ́nà ẹ̀dẹ̀ran Fúlàní nìyẹn in our own land. Gbogbo àwọn iṣẹ́ rere tí àwọn bàbá wa ti ṣe lẹ́sà tó yẹ káwa máa jèrè ẹ̀ lé ní òòdà. Ẹ bá bí irú àwọn yẹn léèrè kékeré ló mú wọn di ẹni tó ń travel out. Ìlú táwọn àjẹ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ń yá wọn lówó tẹ́lẹ̀ ní 1950s in 50s. Ìlú táwọn àjẹ England dáwà yẹ bàbá mi kọ́ ìkí. Ìtẹ́jú di mímọ̀ fún wa pé àwọn bàbá wa Awólọ́wọ̀ ń yá wọn lówó. Ọlá Yorùbá wa padà ń lọ sí ẹ̀yìn àwọn kẹ́tẹ́ ń jubilate. Mo wo fídíò kan sà Fúlàní dìrẹ̀ ń doko ènìyàn wọ́n dẹ̀ di ẹni yẹn mọ́gi pẹ̀lú AK-47. Wọ́n ní kó máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run pé àwọn ò fẹ́ pa ni o wọ́n dẹ̀ dìde mọ́gi.
wọ́n dẹ̀ ń jókòó wọ́n dẹ̀ kú màálù bíi more than 5,000 wọ́n dẹ̀ fi ń jókòó ẹ̀. irú àwọn yẹn ìkà ni wọ́n ẹ máa wo ìgbẹ̀yìn wọn ẹ má jẹ́ ká wo tàwọn yẹn ìkà ni wọ́n. That is why you see Jerisa anybody in Yoruba land that say that he have vision, he want to join Nigerian politician, he want to play politics in Nigeria. Agbọ̀bà ni, ayákìlá ni, olè ni, including the Tinubus. Kókókó wa pa gbogbo wa. Olè ni. Tá ń fọjú alẹ́ wọn tó fi ń ba iná Yorùbá jẹ́. Ọjọ́ alẹ́ wọn wọ́n fi ń bá òwúrọ̀ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá jẹ́ lẹ́nìí. Nígbà ayé títí wọ́n sà tẹ́ ẹ bá ní ọmọ tó wọ yunifásitì you will start to jubilate. Bẹ́ẹ̀ òṣìṣẹ́ bọ̀tí lónìí tọ́mọ yẹn bá ti wọnú yunifásitì ayọ̀ bí ọdún kan nígbà tọ́mọ yẹn bá wá jáde náà wá di ìbànújẹ́ ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ tó kọ́ ọmọ lọ́ba kọ́ ayẹ́tẹ̀sà. Ṣé òkú nìyẹn fún ìran Yorùbá? The plan of the Fulani to turn all the Yorùbá to Almanjeri sà ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá lẹ́nìí kò ní dá fáwọn tó wà lálàdìyẹ tó ní pé orílẹ̀-èdè wo tó la fẹ́ gbà o. Ikú gbogbo náà máa kú. Ìṣẹ̀dálẹ̀ Yorùbá tá a fi ń jìyà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ tọ́lọ́wọ́ ò dára pẹ̀lú ìyá máa jẹ́ ọmọ àbíyá jẹ wọ́n. Tẹ́ bá lọ sí every bus stop in Yorùbá lẹ́nìí we have different of category system of alágbe. Ṣé gbọ́ mi sà? Ẹlòmíì tó bá bá yín ní bus stop sà tó bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ àdúrà yìí tó ń dá wákà àdúrà yìí sà ní mọ̀gbà tẹ́ máa kí wọ́n bọ̀ àpò tẹ́ máa fún. Every blessed day ni o. Ẹlòmíì àná ẹjọ́ tó lọ́wọ́ yìí tí jẹ́ látàná ni. Ẹlòmíì àlọ́mọ ló wà lọ́sibítù. Ẹlòmíì àlẹ́ àìlé lánàá báyìí òjò kọ́rọ̀ ládùúgbò wọn ó dẹ̀ kó gbogbo ilé wọn kalẹ̀. Different category nínú Yorùbá fẹ́ tọrọ bára lédi. It is because wọ́n ti bá yé Yorùbá jẹ́ kọjá ìgbéra. Ohun tí àwọn ọ̀jẹ̀lú ìdẹ̀fẹ́ sọ wá dà nìyẹn kí gbogbo wa ká di alágbe ká mọ̀ wúlò fúnra wa mọ́ kí ilẹ̀ wa ká má ṣẹ́rú lórí ilẹ̀ wa. Tí àwọn bá ní bíbí ire ọmọ tá a bá bí ire sà Yorùbá ní pé ọmọ àlè ní fọwọ́ òsì ìjúwèlé bàbá ẹ̀. Tí wọ́n bá ní bíbí ire wọn ní máa gbèrò ó tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ìkókó máa kọ̀tínú. Mo fẹ́ di kíní kan sí yìí sì.
Mo ti rí.
Mímọ̀ bóyá jí.
Àti mo ti ṣọ́ ẹ nísìnyí ẹ máa sọ ọ́.
DSS officer tó ní ká máa múra another ogun pẹ̀lú another terrorist group tí àwọn Fúlàní tún dá kalẹ̀. The worst part of it sir. Ẹ béèrè inú mi dùn pé you have everybody all the states in Yorùbá land Ogun state Lagos state Ọ̀yọ́ Ọ̀ṣun Èkìtì Kogi ni Delta dé ní Kwara state. Ẹ béèrè wípé àwọn Fúlàní wo ló ń wọ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá lẹ́jọ́ ojúmọ́ pẹ̀lú trailer. They are youth boy, young boy, sir, young boy. Now rush wá sílẹ̀ Yorùbá lójoojúmọ́. Kì í ṣe pé wọ́n níṣẹ́ tó wá ṣe o. Wọ́n rìsáàfù wọn sórí ilẹ̀ wa ní. Nígbà tí wọ́n máa sọ pé ó yá tí wíìsì yẹn máa jáde, they will start taking the Yorùbás. Assignment àwọn bàbá wa ni. That is why you will see the Fulani. Tọ́mọ wọn bá ṣe nǹkan kan, wọ́n á ràgàbọ̀ wọ́n kọ́ báyìí. But àwọn àgbà òṣì, àwọn wèrè. Olúṣẹ́gun Ọ̀ṣọ́bà Bísí Àkàndé Gbẹ́pẹ́gà Daniel Fáyọ̀ṣe Fáyẹmí tí ìgbẹ̀yìn wọn ò lè dára tí ẹni tí bá ṣẹlẹ̀ péré fọ́mọ Yorùbá they will expose it. They are not ready to fight for the Yorùbá but they want to gain for the Yorùbá. So irú wọn ló wà ní island yẹn sà tí wọ́n ti gbàgbé ilé tí wọ́n ti gbàgbé orísun wọn. Yorùbá náà sọ wípé ọmọ tó bá gbàgbé orísun ẹ̀ á gbẹ wọ́n máa gbẹ lójijì ni. God bless you sir.
Mo kí bàbá wa lẹ́kìtì ẹja lọ sọ́dọ̀ ìjọba ìtàló mo ní 3 hours la máa lò I have 20 minutes mo dẹ̀ fi make sure pé mo kí gbogbo èèyàn wa dáadáa. Arẹwà kíkanjú ọ̀dẹ́ mo ti rí ibi tí sójà ti ń nàyàn tí mo sáré gbé wá sórí mídíà táwọn èèyàn rẹ̀ ti rí ẹni tó bá ti rí fídíò yẹn ẹ lọ sórí Twitter wa ó ti wà níbẹ̀ ẹ bá wa follow Arẹwà kíkanjú ní kíákíá brother mi torí 20 minutes ni mo ní ẹ lè mọ̀ pé aago la fi ń ṣiṣẹ́ nílùú òyìnbó lọ́nà yìí náà wà a dẹ̀ ti ṣe program 2 hours 3 hours là ń ṣe lọ́yìn ó di 5 hours tí bá lọ faṣẹ́ náà 5 hours yẹn wá sì san 60 pounds fún mi ẹ bá ń gbóhùn sókè brother mi ìjọba ìtàló.
ẹ jẹ́ mi ní ìpàwọ́ àwòrán yìí.
ẹ ṣe gan ni sà.
ṣé dáadáa dára.
adúpẹ́ fẹ́lẹ́ bí mi àwọn ni ẹ sàn.
tẹ́tẹ́ sọ yẹn kò ń ṣe ìṣe kò ní orú àwọn ayé kò ní òṣùwà because ṣe rọrùn àwọn báyẹn gbàtà àwọn kan dé ta dé ìlú yìí wọ́n pọ̀ láàbúrọ̀dù ẹ má sọ ọ̀pọ̀ kò ń ṣe pé bóyá pé island nìkan ni wọ́n pọ̀ ní abroad tó yẹ pé ẹ bá dé ẹ máa mọ̀ pé how wicked ẹ jẹ́ kí n generalize as Nigeria ẹ bá dé sí ìlú òyìnbó how wicked they are ó ní pé wọ́n máa sọ pé ẹ̀yin kàn déédéé ẹ̀dẹ̀ fẹ́ níwèé ẹ̀yin ò mọ̀ yàtá ti jẹ àwa ti sun ilé ẹran àwa ti ṣe báyìí àwa ti. ìmọ̀ máa béèrè lọ́wọ́ píríọ̀dù ẹgbẹ́ àṣọ gbàtẹ́ ìdí jẹ orú ìyàbá yìí so definitely àwa táwa ń dé sí ẹgbẹ́ ká tún go through the same process ẹgbẹ́ ẹ̀yìn ìyàtẹ́ yìí ti jẹ òun náà lẹ́fẹ́ kí àwọn tó ń dé sí ìyá yìí náà lẹ́fẹ́ kọ́ máa jẹ. so tábà ní pé ká máa rò báyẹn ìyàtọ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ wọn jẹ kúrò Nàìjíríà òun náà ìsì expect pé kó continue Nàìjíríà so that tó bá padà sí Nàìjíríà yìí náà wọ́n ìsì wọn máa intimidate wọn wípé àwọn ìdí lọ́wọ́ so wọn ò ní ìrònú dáadáa kan pé kò yẹ kí ayé kó máa rí lọ báyìí o pé ìlú ìbò táwọn ti bọ̀ kò sí gbogbo yẹn wọn ò ní ìrònú yẹn lọ́kàn wọn ò dẹ̀ fẹ́ kó wà ẹ bá dẹ̀ wá sọ fún ọkọ̀ tó dáa bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ tó wọ́n kò wọlé ẹ máa di ọ̀tá wọn náà sì sọ yẹ pé mi ò keep friends because èrò wọn ó wà very ó ti wà tó pọ̀ jù àtàwọn máa rò pé ṣé àpẹẹrẹ lẹni yìí wà tó jẹ́ pé ìrònú tó máa rò gan ìrònú ẹ̀gán tó wọ́ọ̀sì ju àwọn tó wà nílé lọ. Dáàsì sọ ẹ máa rí pé àwọn bí máa jẹ́ a máa kúrò bíbá yìí tó jẹ́ pé ẹ máa rò pé èèyàn gidi ni wọ́n tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n máa dán di politician Nàìjíríà tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n worst. Kò sí yàtọ̀ o pé kán lọ pọfẹ́rìṣì àwọn èèyàn wọn kán ọ̀fẹ́rẹ́sì àwọn èèyàn wọn olùkọ́ tó wà lọ́kàn wọn pé nǹkan tí àwọn ti pass through wọ́n fẹ́ káwọn èèyàn kan tó pass through dọ́pù ẹ̀ olùkọ́ nǹkan tó jẹ́ pé ó wà lọ́kàn wọn. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká wo àwọn yẹn ń ní nǹkan tó fẹ́ ṣe tó pé life of pressure yẹn òun náà fẹ́ kí ó continue so àwa ní ká gbé tó ṣe àwọn nǹkan tá a fẹ́ ṣe nǹkan tá a bá ní pé ká tó ta àwọn yẹn wọn ò tí ẹ̀ rárá wọn chocolate wọ́n fi rán yàn.
ẹ ṣé gan sir thank you so much. ẹ ṣé gan bó kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa lórí ìrìn àjò yìí akí àwọn tí wọ́n wà against ẹ̀ náà wọ́n ní ká fi mí sílẹ̀ Ọlọ́run àṣedájọ́ gbogbo wa ìyẹn ìkan ẹ já lọ sọ́dọ̀ kọ́là wa níbí báyìí ṣe fẹ́ bá a dá sórí ètò ní màmá wa ṣe fẹ́ dá sórí ètò ní mà. mo wà lórí program grandma ẹ jẹ́ ń ṣe tán kí n pè yín ẹ má bínú sí mi màá pè yín tí bá parí program in 15 minutes màá pè yín grandma. ọ̀dà ìlú iná ẹ̀yin grandma mi tẹ bá ń jáde ẹjọ́ àwọn báàgì tẹ bá ń gbé lọ sí ọjà yẹn so I'm very careful grandma wa kan ní almost 3-4 weeks ago nísìn àwọn olè tó ti wà ní UK ṣe ni wọ́n gbé gbogbo báàgì yẹn lọ àti kí àti gbogbo ẹ̀ mo sọ pé mo ní lè gba kọ́ púpọ̀ mọ́ torí pé àsìkò mi ti wà extremely out of time but màá kọ̀ fún 1 more 2 I think méjì lẹ́yìn ilé ẹyọ kan and that will be it eléyìí náà láti Dublin ni ẹ ti ń follow program ẹ bá mi ti background ẹ ti wọlé ẹ gbọ́n sókè.
ẹ ká sọ ẹ kú iṣẹ́ gbogbo gbà ẹ wo gbóbi tọwọ́tọwọ́ kí yín o ẹ bá mi kí mọ́mí ẹ bá mi kí ìyàwó àtàwọn ọmọ Ọlọ́run tó bá mi dúró ti nǹkan kò ní iṣẹ́ mi yín ṣe gbọ́. ẹ wo mi ò ní pẹ́pẹ́ yẹn lásìkò púpọ̀ ṣe èmi kàn bèèrè pé at this stage tí a wà yìí ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá lóòótọ́ ẹni bí àtúbá wà ní àgbáyé tí ò bá support the freedom Yorùbá nation or freedom ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ìka ayé àtọ̀run ni ó dẹ̀ máa jẹ̀yà yẹn ó máa jẹ́ tọmọtọmọ ni because nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ gbogbo wa lárí àti àwọn àgbààgbà náà tó ṣe bí ẹni pé kò kà wọ́n tó rò bóyá àwọn gbélé ayé tó dáa àwọn náà bímọ síbẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ máa wò ó àwọn nìyẹn Ọlọ́run nìyẹn pẹ̀lú mọ̀ pé Ọlọ́run á ṣèdájọ́ gbogbo wa ṣá ẹ understand so ẹ ṣe bọ ẹ kúṣẹ́
thank you so much
Ọlọ́run ṣọ́ dàbọ̀ sá.
bàbá wa tó pè wọ́n wá láti Dublin nígbà tá a ṣe rally wọ́n náwó wọ́n nọ́ra ẹ jẹ́ lọ sọ́dọ̀ grandma mi kan náà èyí mọ́mì mi mú kíyàwó Margaret Edo mú kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ wà ní Edo àti Delta ẹ bá mi gbóhùn sókè ìyá mi dáadáa Comfort Ológunjà Ọlọ́run àjẹ́ máa rí yín pẹ́ ẹ bá mi gbóhùn sókè mà.
àmì o ẹ fi iṣẹ́ wọ́n bí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá.
wọ́n ń gbọ́ yín káàkiri mọ̀.
actually mi ò fẹ́ contribute bẹ́ẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ tí brother wa láti Ireland sọ yẹn ó ó ṣe ní láàánú nínú ìtẹ́mi bí òwò nínú. A lot of our people wọ́n ṣe wà káàkiri nìyẹn. Tí wọ́n rò pé nǹkan tó ń sọ ìpé kò kàn wọ́n, àwọn tó ń ṣe Yorùbá nation bóyá wọ́n waste time ara wọn. Àìláròjinlẹ̀ ni wọn ò dẹ̀ ní ẹ̀mí àánú nínú. Wọ́n ní àwọn tó ti gòkè odò ní wọn ò pọ̀ bí afárá já. That's their attitude. Amẹ́ríkà tẹ́lòmíì ń gbé. Ìlú UK ló colonize Amẹ́ríkà tẹ́lẹ̀. Tí Amẹ́ríkà ò bá gba independent, abẹ́ UK náà ìmọ̀ wà, wọ́n ìmọ̀ máa ṣe ẹrú wọn. Some people, they stood and fought a good fight. Ǹjẹ́ pé ní èdè àwọn èèyàn sá lọ síbẹ̀. Same thing Ireland. Ó wà ń bì nígbà tí àwọn arè tó pọ̀ báàdì ìlú ẹ̀ tó pọ̀jù ẹ̀. It was terrible. Kó tó di pé Bill Clinton tó wá dá sí. Tí everything settle. So tí àwọn èèyàn wa ò bá lè ronú, it's so sad. Pé let us come together and fight this cause once and for all. Tí ẹrú Fúlàní la fẹ́ máa ṣe. Can't we think? Can't we be reasonable? Ọmọ Yorùbá, ìgbà míì ti máa wo ibi tí àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ṣe ń ṣe, ó dẹ̀ máa ń bà mí nínú jẹ́. Pé ṣé Yorùbá náà nì? Ṣé Yorùbá lè dé ìṣá tí ìyà ń jẹ àwọn èèyàn wa tí wọ́n ń pa wọ́n, tí wọ́n ń gba ilẹ̀ wa? I saw a video, I wasn't too sure whether from your platform. Tí àwọn Fúlàní wọ́n dẹ̀ wọ́n lọ sí oko yẹn, wọ́n dẹ̀ fi iná jó gbogbo oko ẹni yẹn, they burn it down. Oko tí èèyàn ṣe for a whole 1 year labour. Ẹ̀mí abẹ́ Nàìjíríà ní tẹ́lẹ̀fẹ́ wà. And it's so sad. Nígbà tí mo wo prógrámù Àrólé 1010 lánàá, the way tí àwọn nǹkan kan tó gbé jáde nípa Ọ̀ọ̀ni. Tó bá yẹ pé mo lè rí Ọ̀ọ̀ni face to face, mi mọ nǹkan tí mo lè ṣe fún. Pé why tí àwọn èèyàn wá fi burú pa báyìí? That you took a lot of money like this, àwọn majority àsọfù wọ́n jìyà. Olóòlọ sí Ọ̀jájá mọ̀. Ta ló lè afford àti lọ ra nǹkan ní Ọ̀jájá mọ̀ àti Ọ̀jájá mọ̀?
Tí sọ̀rọ̀ security bẹ̀ mọ́ mi, táwọn tó wà ládùúgbò yẹn gan lè gbé bẹ̀ pẹ̀lú security tó wà ńlẹ̀ báyìí nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, lẹ́kìtì tó ń jiyàn gbé. Àbí lóńdó dẹ̀ lọ ti ṣe.
Wọ́n pa Olúfọ́n, ọba Ifọ̀n first class ọba, Ọ̀ọ̀ni ò sọ a word. Ó wá lọ sí stupid Ọ̀jájá park. What for? These are the people tí wọ́n ti Tinubu ti báyìí o. Kí Yorùbá nation kọ́ lè shut wọn up. These are the people. Ara wọn lè rí náà káàkiri. They are APC people. They are the people fighting against Yorùbá nation movement. Ó ń bọ̀, ogun yìí kì í ṣe ogun èèyàn kan, ogun everybody ni. Tí àwọn kan máa rò pé kò kàn wọ́n, ó máa kan ara lé wọn. And little by little, Yorùbá ti ń sọnù. Yorùbá ń sọnù. Okay, irú àwọn ọmọ tàbí síbí ìsìn. Can you just take your child now? Pé bóyá ká máa lọ lé. Wọ́n sọ fún ẹ pé mọ́, I'm sorry, I'm not going. I'm a British. Ṣé àti ọgọ báyìí? Yorùbá ti sọnù káàkiri. How are we going to go back to our land to be Yorùbás? These are the concerns. These are what people are looking at. Irú bàbá Akintoye, irú Ìgbòho, and you yourself and myself. Pé ṣé Yorùbá kíkí Yorùbá máa parun? This is our concern. Kí àwọn èèyàn wá reason. Wọ́n ṣe agbárí wọn. Wọ́n recycle brain wọn pé we are fighting for Yorùbá, our nation. Kí ìran wa kó máa parun. Kí Fúlàní kó máa overrun Yorùbá. Wọ́n ṣe overrun Haúsá. This is our crime. People should reason. Please, they should stop against the Yorùbá movement or laughing. Ìran wọn agbárí wọn náà fi no mock. Not the people that are fighting the cause. Torí later on, wọ́n á rí nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀. And I believe pé Yorùbá ò ní parun. That's my prayer every day. Ọlọ́run á dẹ̀ ràn wá lọ́wọ́.
Ṣé gan ni mo? Ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ wà tọ́jú. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa. Àwọn ò ní ṣépè fún wọn. A gbà pé bí Elédùmarè bí ó ṣe ṣọ̀nà tí wọ́n ní. Gbogbo àwọn country tẹ̀ ń rí níwájú yìí pátá títí kan Amẹ́ríkà, gbogbo country tẹ̀ ń wò níwájú yìí ẹ̀yin tẹ̀ wà lórí screen 1776 l'Amẹ́ríkà gbara wọn kúrò lọ́wọ́ Britain. Ṣé fẹ́ bá wa dá sí program yẹn náà lágbà ní kíákíá torí àsìkò mi ti lọ gan, ẹ bá mi sáré ṣe ní kíákíá, ṣe fẹ́ dá sí program yẹn ni.
Ẹ kú ètò, ẹ kúṣẹ́.
Ẹ̀gbọ́n sókè sà.
Inú mi dùn sí gbogbo kọ́mẹ́ntì àwọn èèyàn ń wá látẹ̀kùn. Ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan tí mo kàn rí tí mo fẹ́ sọ ń bẹ̀ ni pé Ọlọ́run á ràn wá lọ́wọ́.
Àmín Jésù
Kristi. Àwọn àlè yẹn wọn ò fẹ́ kí nǹkan kan yọrí sí ire ní gbogbo ìrìn àjò tá a máa bọ̀ látijọ́ yìí. Tó nǹkan tá a lè ṣe bíi pé bó ṣe ń wù mí, bíi bó ṣe rí lára mi, bíi pé ká tètè gbéra ní kíákíá ká mọ̀ nǹkan tá a fẹ́ ṣe, bó já máa da gbogbo ẹ̀rú ní kí gbogbo ẹ̀ tètè yanjú. Torí nǹkan tó ń bọ̀ ní ọdún tá a fẹ́ wọ̀ yìí, èṣè bí ebi ń pa wọ́n sì náà pariwo. Nǹkan tójú wọn máa rí lọ́dún tá a fẹ́ wọ̀ yìí, bàbá. Wọn ò ní mọ tán máa ságbà ni o. Wọ́n máa rí eré, wọn ò ní lè sáré ni o. Nǹkan tí wọ́n máa rí lọ́dún tá a fẹ́ wọ̀ yìí,
akọjá agbára wọn. Àmín pẹ̀lú àkọ́ àmọ́ ṣe ẹ̀ṣẹ̀gàn mi. Mo nífẹ̀ẹ́ gbogbo yín tí ẹ bá mi dá sí ẹ̀ṣẹ̀gàn mi brọ́dà mi, má bínú pé mo kàn yín lójú. Àsìkò mi ti lọ, ó ti lọ gan ni. Ó dá bàbá Èkìtì fi bá wa. Ìyá kíákíá bàbá Èkìtì ẹnu pàgó la fi ń ṣiṣẹ́ nílùú yìí. Ó yá kíákíá, a ní 1 minute tó kù ẹjọ́.
Mo kàn fẹ́ bẹ̀ àwọn èèyàn wa ni.
Wọ́n ń gbọ́ yín.
Kájọ Ọlọ́run. Ká má torí àwọn ọmọ àlè tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́. Ọmọ àlè yẹ kí iṣẹ́ aláàdì nìkan ló wà o. Wọ́n wà l'Amẹ́ríkà. Ẹ̀mí iye wọn tó máa gbọ́ Amẹ́ríkà tá a máa fún mi lépè pé àìníṣẹ́ ló ń dà mí láàmú. Wọ́n wà ní Canada tá a máa fún gbé mi ṣépè láàárọ̀ kùtù. Wàá ṣe program kan, wàá ṣe program lọ́sàn-án, wàá ṣe program lálẹ́.
Báyìí mi àti àjọ ń ṣe wọ́n náà ń tọrọ owó náà ni wọ́n náà ń tọrọ owó lórí social media. Wọ́n ṣe rí nìyẹn.
Tá a bá tọrọ owó wọnú òmìnira wa lọ, ó bẹ́tà ká tọrọ owó, ó bẹ́tà jù ká tọrọ owó wọnú ìkú ẹrú lọ. Mo bẹ̀ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ojúlówó ọmọ Yorùbá, ojúlówó ọmọ Ìgbàdo lógo state ní gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá pátápátá. Ẹjọ́ ẹ má ro tàwọn ọmọ àlè yẹn. We the Yorùbá we are bleeding. We are bleeding. Ẹgbẹ́ ní àrò tèmi, ọ̀la ní ká ẹgbẹ́ kárò. And I want everybody to know sir pé lára dictionary àwọn bàbá wa, wọ́n ní ènìyàn péréte ní ìṣèlú. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká ròtì, ẹ bá wa bí àwọn ẹ̀kọ́ kámọ́ ròtì àwọn àríjẹ nídìí ìmọ̀dàrú. Bámúbámú ni mo yọ ọmọ ìbí ọmọ ẹlòmíì kọjọ torí Ọlọ́run. Yóò rí wípé nínú Nàìjíríà Yorùbá ò ní ọjọ́ ọ̀la. Nínú Nàìjíríà today, this Bola Ahmed ó ti create àwọn armed robbers surround ara ẹ̀ káàkiri gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. They must not continue. Please let us deliver our land. Ẹ má ro tàwọn ọmọ àlè yẹn. Ẹ ṣe é bàbá.
Bàbá Èkìtì ní let us deliver ourselves, ká má ro tàwọn ọmọ àlè yẹn. Kẹ́rí pé program ti ọ̀sán yìí ó lọ bó ṣe jẹ́ pé mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lẹ́nu iṣẹ́. Tí Ọlọ́run bá tún fún wa ní okun àtagbára, àwọn tó máa jáde ní ìgbà tí a bá parí àdúrà tá a máa ń ṣe nírọ̀lẹ́. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lórí Twitter space, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ dá sí, mo kí yín o. Màmá dáadáa Alájà Adéyàt Ọdẹ́wálé ní gbogbo àjà lọ́hùn, mo kí yín, ẹ bá ń kí gbogbo àwọn tàjà. Mo kẹ́yìn tí ẹ wà ní gbogbo borderline, mo kí Bàbá Lẹ́kìtì, mo kí Yorùbá World Media, mo kí Dr. Zabi, mo kí Yèyé Dára, mo kí Ọmọlúkà, mo kí gbogbo àwọn medias wa tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ takuntakun. Èmi náà ni olólùfẹ́ yín, àbúrò yín, ẹ̀gbọ́n yín tí à ń mọ̀ ní Koiki Media. Ẹ tẹ̀lé wa ní gbogbo platforms wa. Peter Pan, ọwọ́ mi lókè o, mo kí ẹ gan ni, mo kí àwọn Biafra tó darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. Don Kelvin, mo kí ẹ. Silver Badmus, mo kí ẹ ń bẹ̀. Mr. Kayode 2621, mo kí Aláwù Bàbá, mo kí ẹ èyí tí wọ́n ń pè ní Ògúnmọ́lá. Mo ní gbogbo bàtí a bá ti wálé, àjọ máa lọ jẹ àmàlà àtẹ̀gúnfẹ́ ni. Màmá rán mi létí, èmi náà máa rán ẹ létí. Thank you so much to every single one that have joined again. This is the second program for the day. There might be a third one or not, I don't know yet. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí. Kò ní sú wa, kò ní rẹ̀ wá. Anthem ló máa jáde lẹ́yìn eléyìí tí àtijọ́ sọ ní bíbá. Ẹni tó bá mọ̀, ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ kọ́. Gbogbo yín pátá ni mo kí o. Mo kí bàbá Akintoye dáadáa. Ọbẹ̀ Elédùmarè ajẹ́kẹ̀ kó wa délẹ̀ lérí. Ìgbòho òòṣà, èmi àti ẹ̀ a sọ̀rọ̀ lánàá. Mo ti send message wọn láàárọ̀ yìí. Àlàáfíà ni bàbá wà. Mo kí àwọn ìyàwó wọn, mo kí àwọn ọmọ wọn. Mo wá kí gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá pátá. Àwa ò ní bú ọba ní bíbá. Àmọ́ èèyàn ọba wa ẹ dìde, ẹ bá wa dá sọ̀rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀ yìí. Torí ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀ yìí kó má lọ di wàhálà. Mo kí Ọlá Micro. If I didn't mention your name, just know that I love you all and my name remains the same. Olayomi Koiki. Koiki Media, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Bye for now.